What's going on? We are live. I am here with Flip as usual, and this is our friend Ice. You might recognize him from the chat all the time. You want to join us tonight, and we're going to be each highlighting a specific director tonight. Glad to see everybody. How you doing there, Ice?
I'm good. How are everybody?
It's so weird having you on the show and not on the right-hand side of my screen.
Yeah.
Ice and I are actually really good friends. We talk on the phone regularly. We text back and forth. He keeps me up to date with almost every announcement. And before I even got into Blu-rays, this dude is always in Facebook groups posting fucking deals, new announcements. Ice is like the best thing to come out of the East Coast since Wu-Tang.
What's going on, Jeff?
What's going on, Jeff? And tonight it's going to be a really special episode because we are giving away a sealed copy of Cinematic Vengeance and a sealed copy of Ran. Sorry, it's Ron. It's supposed to be pronounced R-A-H-N. 4K. So one lucky winner will be getting this. One lucky winner, second place winner will be getting that. Once we get a few more people in the show, we will be giving this away. This is my favorite box set of the year so far. I don't think Shawscope will be in my hands until 2022 at this rate. I don't think it's going to be out, but you guys got pickups?
I've got a few. I got this really cool cartoon roots from Diabolic.
Oh, that's
Halloween Haunts.
Thunderbeam, right?
Yeah, you'll probably recognize stuff like that.
I like that.
Yeah, love the classic ones.
He does his own restoration and gets the reels.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Also got the next Paramount Presents. I got in Vanilla Sky with Flip's favorite Tom Cruise.
I actually like Tom Cruise quite a bit.
I know.
He's my favorite Scientologist.
And then Flip's favorite dead person. I got Patrick Swayze and Steel Dawn.
R.I.P. Patrick Swayze.
And then one of my favorites. I love Nick Cage. I finally got in Prisoners of Ghostland, the 4K Steelbook from RLJ.
That movie is so crazy.
I can't wait to see it. I just wish. I don't think still. Let me make sure before I say it. Yeah. RLJE still does not do HDR on any of their releases at all.
That movie is weird because it's both. Like, if you go in with a certain mind frame, you'll love it. But if you go in expecting a normal Shion Sono film, you're not going to love it because Shion Sono didn't write it. So I think it's like people go in it with a certain expectation, and they're going to be disappointed. If you go in expecting a crazy Nick Cage movie, you're going to have a fun time. But don't go in thinking it's a fucking Shion Sono film.
Which I got to say, it's hilarious. They printed a quote from Nick Cage on the Steelbook.
Yeah.
I've never seen an actor from the movie get a printed quote in it. Eric's here. What's going on, Eric? Good to see you. Maximus Nerd wants to talk about Old Henry. He just tagged us on Twitter on that.
Is that the new Western that's out?
The Shout Factory one?
Yeah. Wait, Shout Factory put it out.
Yeah.
It's a brand new movie, right? Like it's
yep.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking about renting it tonight, and I heard great things.
No, yeah, I sent you the trailer. I like the joke that has Buster Scruggs after everything.
It looks good. It looks really fucking good.
I just ordered it in that Target buy two get one.
Oh, is that still going on?
No, it stopped on Sunday. My favorite pickup of the week is the Brady Bunch double feature. Gotta love the 90s.
Sequel. Oh man, Ice, do you have any pickups before we get into my stupidly thick haul?
Yeah, I'll just do a couple quick. I talked to Flip about this yesterday. I managed to get the initial run with the booklet, and pretty good anthology. Korean Steel Book, War of the Arrows, a nice action historical movie about a guy trying to get his sister that's been kidnapped during the Manchurian invasion.
I think Welgo put that out here in the States.
Yeah, yep. I'm pretty sure they did.
I think I have that one.
Valdez is coming.
Yes.
Burt Lancaster as a Mexican sheriff is really good though. Great ending. And then Flip's favorite genre, some noirs. Pitfall.
Love noirs.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
It's about ex-army guy who has an affair that turns sour. I'm picked up mostly because I'm a fan of Elizabeth Scott. And then Humphrey Bogart, Deadline USA.
Very nice.
About a newspaper going under, but he still uses his resources to take down a criminal. And then Poetry by Lee Chang-dong.
Nice.
Did that just came out recently?
That's
right?
from Kino,
No,
right?
it's been out for years.
Oh man, there's another poetry title I was thinking of.
Who put that out?
Yeah, Kino, and it comes like a slip box.
Nice. Oh,
But,
it's a box. Weird.
Yeah. So if you know Lee Chang-dong, Burning, Peppermint Candy, and
I think it's great.
yeah, and Seek Is Sunshine from Criterion.
I love noirs. We'll be talking about noir tonight because there is actually and I was telling Ice this. I like things that were directly influenced by noir, like for Nando DeLeo, which is the director I almost chose tonight. His direct influence was all the films coming out of the States that were noir. I like neo noir quite a bit. I like Jules Dassin a little bit. But there's just something about the genre, and I can't put my finger on it. I don't know if it's like the cheesiness of it, or what, like the way they talk or the way that, but there are certain things like that imprint release, Scarface from 1932. Love that movie. Thought that was great. So like I like stuff like that, but it's just a genre that like I can't mass consume, if that makes sense.
It's a hard one to do that, yeah.
It's like it's so weird because like last year everyone, every November it's Noir-vember. It's Noir. I'm like, it's not my thing. But my haul, I'm gonna quickly go through the DVDs because there's a lot of them and it's a lot of just bullshit. We got the Fast Sword. All these are mostly Hong Kong releases. They do have English subtitles, so that's the Fast Sword. Full Contact. This is a Ringo Lam movie starring Chow Yun-fat. Great movie. I'm expecting this to get a release from Eureka sometime because I think it's Ringo Lam's best film. We got Profile in Anger, just some nice Hong Kong heroic bloodshed. We got Double Tap, which is cheesy, and then probably the greatest cover. What's going on, Fat Samurai Guy? Probably the greatest cover, the most 90s cover I've ever seen in anything, Skyline Cruisers. I don't know if you can see that, but that is like, oh man, that's very 90s. We got the Shaolin Brothers, a Joseph Kuo film, kind of tying into the box set we're giving away. This is one that's not included in the box set, which I heard rumblings after I bought this that there might be a volume 2 coming. And then we got some Shaw Brothers stuff. So real quick, we got Chang Che's Vengeance. We got the Buddha's Palm, which is the only release to not be an anamorphic, which is weird because it looks like absolute dog shit. Sad, but it's a solid movie. One of the only Venomob films I was missing. This is the Daredevils. I now have every Venomob movie that they ever, like, even the like unrelated ones, like the ones that they left Shaw and did on their own. The Godfather of Canton. This is Gordon Liu from 36 Chambers of Shaolin. This is a gangster movie set in like the 20s in Hong Kong, and there's a restaurant scene. There's a massacre scene in this movie that is so bloody, so violent, so out there. It's just I was not enjoying the movie until that happened. Like that set piece sold the film because there are, especially back in the day, there was a character. A lot of Hong Kong cinema does this too, where they have someone who's mentally challenged and they just kind of go a little too much into it. Mm-hmm. They do this with a character, and I was like, man, this movie's not. What first grabbed you about Asian cinema? I feel like at the time of my life when I got into Asian cinema, or just including anime and like even Asian comics, everything about like Asian entertainment, I just think they take more risks than Western, and also like the genres, like samurai movies are very much a Japanese thing. Shaw Brothers, Jim Cotta is better than all the Shaw brothers. I don't know about that. It's just I feel like they took more risks. They're more violent. They're a lot more fun. That's just my personal opinion. I love gangster movies. I love westerns, but even American westerns are a little boring. Spaghetti westerns is what I really love, like Django, the Sergio Leone films, the Sergio Corbucci films, the Sabata films. So it's just I gravitate more towards violence, but not just violence for violence sake. It has to have a story. Like the Lone Wolf and Cub films are a perfect example. You can go into those just for the grindhouse aspect of them, but if you want some deeper meanings, it's like there. And I don't think American cinema is doing that. Like, what am I gonna watch Top Gun or 310 to Yuma? The
Don't you
remake,
like the remake?
remake's great. The original, dog shit. And I will die on that hill. Gangmaster, Iron Bodyguard, another Chang Che film. Eating Jets, hello, hey, what's going on, Fanatical Dragon? And then I picked this up. This is True Legend. This is a
Nice.
what's his name? Ewan. I'm gonna pronounce this wrong. God, yeah, Yun Wu Ping, who directed the sequel to the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon movie, which is I actually kind of liked it. It's a guilty pleasure, but he did the fight choreography for Kill Bill, Matrix. But this movie is crazy. I think it's probably the last true kung fu movie that we got. He also did Master Z, the Ip Man Legacy, which I actually liked quite a bit. But yeah, I got a couple more left to talk about. I picked up a couple westerns, Bend of the River and Duel in the Sun, both Kino Lorber westerns. Not the good stuff. Here's the good stuff. Disciples of Shaolin, 88 films release with the great Kung Fu Bob artwork. They knocked it out of the park with this release. Again, I don't think this movie is as good as Chinese Boxer. I think Chinese Boxer is the best single release of the year. But this is just incredible. And then I picked up Full Alert by Eureka, which is a Ringo Lam movie. Great release. This has commentary actually by Ringo Lam himself. I always love commentaries if it's from the actual director and the creator of the movie. One of my favorite westerns ever. We've got The Great Silence, the Eureka special, the Masters of Cinema edition. This is a pretty thick release. A lot of good special features on this. Alex Cox has a commentary on this that was really good. Better than the film movement release. I believe it's the same transfer. It's I think it's the same master because I noticed. I don't know if you guys have seen the film movement master, but there's like some rips and tears towards the beginning of the film, and I think that's all they had to work with. So, but I noticed the same stuff from the film movement one. But the Alex Cox commentary is really cool because he did it live at the Hollywood Theater in Portland in 2021 for 36 Cinema, which I don't know if you guys have heard. 36 Cinema puts out. They'll do like live shows, but they'll also do pay-per-view, and they'll have somebody do a live commentary during the film. RZA did one for the five Deadly Venoms, which I actually have a signed poster, Kung Fu Bob artwork with RZA's signature. That was such a cool thing. So it's really weird to see 36 Cinema's logo on a Western. But this is one of the best Westerns ever made. Sergio Corbucci, his Mud and Blood trilogy, which was Django, this, and The Specialist. Really cool unofficial trilogy.
Why is it so thick?
Well, because it's got like lobby cards, like postcards. It's got a poster. It's got like a bunch of these postcards. And you know what's funny is that when they were making this movie, the main actor was like, "I can't speak English very well," and Sergio Corbucci's like, "That's fine. We'll just make you mute." So they literally just on a whim. I double dipped, and by the way, the giveaway tonight is going to include the film movement release of this because I have both. So, but I have something really cool to talk about. So bootlegs. Ryan, how do you feel about bootlegs?
I'm fairly anti.
I am too. And I've always said this, and I've done this. Anytime that I buy something that's a bootleg and it gets an official release, I will purchase the official copy.
Which is about to happen for me. I don't know if you saw it. I did a bootleg video just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I watched.
I got Alligator 1 and 2, and Scream Factory just announced Alligator in 4K and Alligator awesome. 2.
Dude, weird hype around that release. Like
it's not. That is one of the most clamored for titles.
Really?
Forever. Yeah.
But there is a person out of, I think, Scotland, I believe. Fanatical Dragon can correct me if I'm wrong. What's going on, Zach? This person, they may be trans, may not be, so I'm just going to refer to them as they. I don't want to upset them and use the wrong pronoun. They get the film elements and remaster the film elements themselves. And so it's not just a bootleg slapped together. This is like they put time and effort and love behind each release. They released The Mystery of Chess Boxing, which was the big one that was missing from the Joseph Quo set. And this looks incredible. Like, the transfer on this is mind-blowing. Like, I can't really show you screenshots because the screenshots are a little small. But it is stunning brand new restoration from the 35mm print. However they were able to get their hands on that, it's insane. But we got that. We got Rebellious Reign, which I watched a couple nights ago. Low budget, wuxia title. A lot of fun. We got From the Highway. And then we got one of my favorite movies of all time, Ninja and the Dragon's Den, which is awesome. And then something I think Ryan would like. This is the Robert is Scottish. This movie is a Giallo influenced kung fu movie, and that is The Hot, the Cool, and the Vicious. So
gotta love that title.
Yeah, it's a really cool fucking title. So I purchased these titles. They shipped them in 3 separate boxes. So I got them in separate days. So I got 2 of them, and I was like, what the fuck? So I emailed them, was like, what the fuck, where's the rest of them? They never responded, probably because they were like, just give it a few days, and then slowly they started coming. But yeah, I'm very happy to own these. And again, if these ever get an official release, because I could see a label like Eureka maybe doing it, or Pearl River. I could see Pearl River doing it. Ninja and the Dragon's Den is fucking awesome. But I also want to give a shout out to Fanatical Dragon, because I have one more copy of this coming to my house, and I'm giving it to him. So he's getting a copy from me as a Christmas birthday present. So, wait, no, it just as a Christmas present. My birthdays are after Christmas, so I always just do that. But that's my haul. That's a lot of shit. I've seen a lot of it.
I had one person above ask a question I wanted to get back to.
Okay.
Chemical Ninja asked if I ordered anything from Gold Ninja Video, are they good? And he's got his eyes on a couple titles. And we've talked about these in the past. They are friends of mine. I love Justin. I do have some. This is the Jackploitation. This is one of their best releases by a long shot. One of their other good ones that I think a lot of people would like is a Sweet and Vicious Beauty. And ironically enough, I got a shipping notification from them today. And I should have a fairly large package showing up here pretty soon.
They are very trustworthy.
Yep.
So my birthday in Xmas too. It'll be a birthday Xmas tree. Awesome dragon. But yeah, guys, again, tonight we're giving away a copy of this. It's sealed. It's brand new. This is Region B. So be warned, if you do not have a Region Free player, it will not play, but it's worth getting a Region B player for, because it's 2021. What the fuck are you doing if you don't have a Region Free? What are you doing if you're collecting physical media without a Region Free player? This is one of the best box sets of the year. And the way they paired it, you know, each Blu-ray case has 2 discs with 2 movies on it, and one is called Deadly Masters and one's called Fearless Shaolin. And it's so awesome. They're paired as double features. Awesome. But let's get into it. The directors we chose tonight. Do you just want to go around the room and say which ones we chose before we dive in?
Sure. Ice, you want to go first? Tell us who you picked first.
Obviously, pick Korean, and my darkness Na Hong Jin.
Nice. I always associate Korean cinema with Ice because he's mad into Korean cinema. What about you, Ryan?
I went with the Coen brothers.
Oh, I went with Kira Kurosawa.
Shocking pick.
A shocking pick. I should have said something. I should have picked something way out there. Like, here's my favorite John Ford films. Let's do it.
Would it work?
No, would it not? Ugh. Hey, what's going on, Samurai? You take care, buddy. I love you. Hey, I hope if we don't talk, have a good Christmas. So who wants to go first?
Shoot, I'll go first. Why not? Let me. I got to share a screen for this first one because I'm gonna. Of course, even though we're only supposed to pick 5, I picked an honorable mention.
I have an honorable mention too.
Of course. So yes, I wanted to pick 5, and then I couldn't decide on these last ones. But I don't think enough love gets thrown at this film, Raising Arizona. I love Raising Arizona. This movie is funny as hell. Just talked about Nick Cage for a reason. He is fantastic. This is such a basically like a slapstick comedy in so many of the scenes. And again, I don't understand, but hardly anybody talks about this damn movie anymore. And granted, they've done a lot of stuff since then. This came out, geez, what year even was this? This was like 89?
89, I think it's 89.
87. Jeez.
Whoa.
So I think this was only their second film ever, like second major studio release. And that is super early to be having great movies like that. They've done all kinds of stuff since then. So I'm sure that's the main reason why a lot of that doesn't get talked about. Speaking of great releases, my first actual pick from them, my number 5, is going to be Inside Llewyn Davis. You are going to hear a very common theme as I talk about these, and that is the fact that they pick excellent music. And this is a film that is centered around music entirely. Oscar Isaac is mind-blowing in this film as just basically a loser, and I don't understand how somebody as amazing as him pulls it off. Justin Timberlake's even in this, and this is a super sad film, and a lot of people hate it because it just it doesn't really end, it just sort of drifts away. But I think that's the best part about a lot of the Coen films is that it's literally just slice of life, and that they make you care about the characters so much that you don't want to give up the story. You want to just keep going with them. And this is the perfect example of that for me.
That's folk music in that movie.
It's excellent.
Now, are we going around round robin? The round?
It's up to you.
I'll just let you know I have 3 only.
Okay.
That's fine.
I can do all of mine then if you want, and then we can go Ice.
Just go ahead and focus on yours, and then we'll go to Ice, and then we'll go to me.
Sure thing. My next one, I have this one in the closet, so again, I'm gonna have to share my my screen for this one. Another one that a lot of people have forgotten, and it's been, gosh, this one is 21 years old now, I think, and that is, "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?"
I always forget that they did that movie,
and it does not seem like a Coen Brothers movie until
doesn't.
You watch it, and then you're like, "Oh yeah, this is obviously a Coen Brothers movie." So this a lot of people forget this was one of the most successful soundtracks of all time. Literally financially most successful soundtracks of all time.
Wow.
A lot of it was made for this film, and they pulled it off perfectly. This film is hilarious. There are some scenes that are just flat out like trippy to watch, and the main thing is that you have a lot of the staple Coen Brothers actors in this, and they just get lost in these roles, and they pull off something that you are so not ready for them to pull off. It is such a great treat. The big thing is it has this overall tone through this film that you don't want to walk away from, and I don't know. This one is like magical to me. The fact that you and I have done stuff in the music industry, and this whole film is about a group in the music industry, and it is wonderful, and it goes really well with Inside Llewyn Davis on that front. So it's fantastic.
I used to hate that movie because for whatever reason, it was like teachers allowed it to be played in school, so we would watch it all the time from like junior high to the end of high school. And it wasn't until a few years after high school, when I was so removed from it that I didn't associate it with school, that I really enjoyed it.
You didn't want to be a soggy bottom boy?
No. No, even though I am.
The brown color palette really worked for the movie.
It really does. Speaking of color palettes, and one that is bleak and gray, my number 3 from them is going to be Fargo. This movie, a lot of people consider their masterpiece, at least until 2007, and they took. This film is. First off, this film holds up better than most films. Like, this still works entirely. Everything about this, it feels so innocent when you're watching it, and the characters that are in it are just so bumbling that you can't wait to see what happens to them. Again, another one that highlights the characters in a way that you care about them, which is so weird because this is the type of movie where you absolutely would not want to care about some of these characters, and it just draws you in. I mean, obviously, Frances McDormand steals the show here. She's amazing, and she's literally married to a Coen, so she puts a lot of that time in there. But she is incredible in that movie, really good. And, you know, we talked about noir earlier. I think, gosh, at least 3 of my picks are going to be kind of noir or neo-noir in a way.
Can I say a side thing about Raising Arizona real quick?
Of course.
My dad, I'm going to share a picture of him. He looks like Nick when he was younger.
Got a sweet stash.
Nicolas Cage in Raising Arizona, and I always tease him about it because my dad loves that movie too. So, yeah, that's my pops. He looks like Nick Cage.
It's a great one. And then Jeff, my man here, raised up my second pick, and that is Blood Simple.
Oh my god, I love this movie, dude. Oh.
Blood Simple is great. It is tense throughout, but the biggest thing. This has such a great third act. I mean, the entire scene in the hotel is harrowing and painful to watch. And I mean, I said it was tense, but the final act is crazy tense. You know, the fact that there are people diving on the ground to get behind line of sight and everything for these small town cops feel. This is such a great movie. And if you really want to get into not just a neo-noir, but like a real new noir type of feel, this is the type of place that I would go to. And it's a Criterion Collection film. It's $20 on sale. Absolutely pick this up if you haven't seen it.
Ryan's been hounding me. Was I kidnapped? No. Ryan was been hounding me to watch Blood Simple. So I finally did, like, what, 2 weeks ago, a week ago?
Somewhere around there.
Was just blown away. Loved every single fucking second of it. And they're like, I listened to their they did like a not like a commentary, but they like went over the movie in one of the special features.
Yeah.
They're like really hard on themselves in that they're like, oh, we would fix this, fix that. But the way that movie got made is they went door to door to a bunch of businesses and was like, can you donate money so we can make this movie? And it's an incredible film. It's basically No Country for Old Men if Anton was a fat white guy from Texas with a cowboy hat.
Yep.
It's awesome.
So obviously, there is no real surprise here what my number 1 pick is going to be from these guys. I've talked about this enough on this show. It's already been referenced twice. The Coens had multiple movies that could be called masterpieces at the time that they came out, but I believe that this is the one that will last the test of time by a long shot. There are shots in this that are masterful that I don't see anybody being ever able to pull off the way that they did. Again, I just mentioned the hotel scene, but the hotel scene in this is one of the most harrowing acts in a film you will ever see. Josh Brolin puts in a really great performance, and the only reason he's not talked about more for this is because he gets vastly overshadowed by Javier Bardem putting in like a performance of a lifetime. This is probably my vote for the best modern villain ever.
Yeah.
I don't know who I possibly would even come close to picking.
He's just a force of nature.
Exactly. He's got a badass weapon. It's a story that is real, that's tangible, that is relatable. And even though, I'm a sissy little white boy that hasn't done any major heist or anything like that, and I don't relate to the crime side, but my God, can I put myself in these shoes and realize that if I was running away, I'm screwed because I'm not going to think as cleverly as Josh Brolin did. I adore this movie, and if people still have not seen it, you got to do something about that.
The scene in the gas station,
is
intense.
Your life is decided by a coin. Crazy.
It's intense, and I say this fact every time we talk about this movie, but it's my favorite film fact because you don't notice it the first time you watch it. There's no music. There's no music in that movie at all. None. And when you would say that normally about a movie, and I think most movies, if you take the music out, it would suffer. But the Coen brothers made a purely visual piece of art, and it's an absolute masterpiece. It doesn't need any music, no soundtrack, no score, just the rawness of what's on film. I can't believe it's 2007?
2007. And the best part, that was filmed in the same state, like downwind from There Will Be Blood at the exact same time. There was one day while they were filming that an explosion happened on There Will Be Blood, and they had to halt filming on No Country for Old Men because it was visible in the background.
Wow.
Two modern masterpieces filmed literally at the same exact time.
I wonder if they went to each other's sets to just watch.
To drink each other's milkshake.
Coen brothers, I drink your milkshake.
So what about this? Jeff wants to know, what would you guys do if you found that money?
I would call my family in the Cosa Nostra and tell them and be like,
obviously everybody will have some type of temptation.
I'd take it. Fuck it. What?
Hell yeah.
I'm not scared. I say that, but I am a pussy.
That don't put it in the bank, obviously, but that'll pay for years of groceries paid by cash. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, groceries. I mean, I would literally wash it with the restaurant.
Yep.
So then I could put it in the bank.
Yeah, but exactly. Harvey is coming for you.
What?
Harvey is coming for you. So what you gonna do?
Like I said, I'll call my family and be like, "What's up, guys? Uncle Joe, you want to come help me?" Yeah, I would definitely keep it. Javier. To me, he's Javier Fartdom because I would just I'd blow him away.
I've got too much in student loans not to keep it.
That's a good label releases, says Jeff. Yeah, me and Ryan start a label.
And then go bankrupt immediately.
We just license everything. Why hasn't that gotten a fucking special edition?
That's a great question.
There's a pick on my list that we'll talk about that I am just blown away they didn't give a better treatment to.
Where would you put Miller Crossing on your list?
Ooh,
that's a good one.
If I'm saying Raising Arizona is 6, Miller's would probably have to be 8. And that's only because, I don't know why, but I've always loved the Hudsucker Proxy, and that would probably have to be 7.
Where's Buster Scruggs?
It's not bad, but the whole thing's not great. So it would probably have to be down like near 11 or 12.
I was going to say,
you guys hate it?
No,
I didn't hate it at all, but as an anthology, I think only a couple of the segments are great.
I feel like that's where a majority, like, there's strong segments than others.
Right.
I told my dad, I was like, Dad, the guys who directed No Country for Old Men have a Western out. And he was like, yo, let's watch it. And then he was like, what the fuck is this? Because it's nothing like that movie. I was fucking with my dad. Barton Fink, they did that too.
Yep.
I also enjoyed True Grit.
True Grit is amazing.
Yeah, dude. My list would be True Grit. Like, for real. They do so many good movies that I just forget.
Yep.
True Grit, I think, is the best remake in the history of movies.
Jeff is a great actor.
It's just fucking great, dude.
Haley Steinfeld was great in that too, for how young she was.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, just fucking great movie. I think I watched that 3 times this year. Actually, I love that remake.
I will say that was one of the best theater movies I've seen. That was such a good one to see in the theater. Just have that environment immerse you.
Yep. I miss theaters. I haven't been in a theater since Rise of Skywalker.
I still can't believe I paid for the Space Jam 2 this year.
I gave up. I passed on The Lighthouse to watch Rise of Skywalker.
I think it's been since Wick 3 for me.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
So, Ice, you're up next, buddy.
All right. I want to do this in order of release from their filmography. First up is The Chaser. And this movie desperately needs a boutique release because this Blu-ray is the only English-friendly release that you could get, and it's long out of print and goes for insane prices on eBay. If you guys have not watched this, I highly recommend you do. Essentially, is about a disgraced detective now runs a prostitution ring, and then some of the prostitutes start dying, and he sends one off, and she gets kidnapped, and he's trying to track her down, and then he finds out who the killer is, who has. There's a scene where he goes to the killer's sister's house, and if you deal with kids, what he did to his nephew it really messes with you.
Dustin says The Chaser is good.
Yeah, the 2 leads, famous Korean actors. I love them both. Kim Yoon-suk and I think the other's name is Han Song something. But great movie. Desperately need. This is going for insane prices, and it needs to be rescued.
Now, do you think we'll get that eventually? Because that is a beloved classic. Like, people love that.
I know Korea recently did a 4K of a war movie and brought it back. So I would be shocked if this doesn't get a re-release soon by somebody. Even Arrow, who's doing like Tales of Two Sisters and JSA.
That's a good point.
My next one is same 2 actors actually, and it's The Yellow Sea.
Now, is that good? Because that's the one movie I have not seen by him.
I think it's good. I definitely need to rewatch. The problem is, I also believe there was 2 releases, UK and Australia, and I think they're both out of print. I'm not going for the same amount of money, but they're both out of print. And it deals with the main characters, the killer and the chaser, where there's an area where Russia, China, and North Korea connect in the city. He's from there, and he plays a taxi driver with gambling addiction, and he's deeply in debt. And people from the city usually go to Korea to work because it's a very poor town. He ends up accepting a contract killing in Korea in order to pay off his debts and also to find out his wife, because his wife has been like missing for a while, and then basically shit hits the fan and he gets in trouble.
Jeff says maybe a Kino release. Don't they do a fair amount of Korean cinema? I'd say I feel like they've slowed down a little bit compared to what they were doing.
So too.
Well, they did Beast Closet. Was it Beast Closet No Strings this year?
I think
no.
it's all.
That's Artsploitation, I think.
Yeah, it's a different label, but their streaming service has it for you to stream.
Okay.
And it's one of the contracts where Kino's doing distribution for them.
But I hear that one is very good, very Tarantino-esque. Did you see it, Flip?
Yeah, I did. The reason why I thought it was Kino is because Cinema Classics said, "Hey, do you want the new Kino Korean movie?" And I said, "What is it?" And he's Beast Closet No Strings. I was like, "Yeah, sure." And loved it. It was very Tarantino-esque, like a very, very good movie.
Mm-hmm.
I loved it.
And last was part of Ryan's watch along. This is the Steelbook for The Wailing from Korea.
Nice.
That's a great movie.
Yeah, if you're not into horror, I feel like this is a nice starting off point. It's about a cop who is investigating some murders, and inadvertently his family gets into it, and his daughter gets like possessed. Would you say possession, Ryan?
Kind of. I mean, they frame it
She
as if it's
definitely gets
possession.
accosted by the evil people doing it, and it leaves you guessing who's good and who's bad, and who's helping the main character. Is really well done. Is available streaming, I believe. Yeah.
I believe so, and I think that's a perfect example for this year because not only was Severin doing their folk horror box set, but there's a lot of companies doing folk horror out of nowhere, and it's really important to not, zone in on one area with folk horror because it really affects you when you start learning about the other cultures through things like this. It teaches you what these other cultures feel is frightening and it part of their upbringing and is something that it really is rooted in a religion a lot of times, but the big thing is that it's all spiritual. And with the Severin box set, they're going around the world with a lot of that, but there's not a lot of Asian horror in there. So it's really important to go out there and make sure that you're well-rounded. Get releases like The Wailing because it is a really great example of a folk horror, I believe, from that area.
And watching foreign releases like in Korea and stuff, you notice how like there's not a lot of guns in movies.
No.
Even the cops don't have like 9mm or whatever. They just deal with revolvers, and the gangsters, they use sashimi knives and just blunt weapons when they fight.
Yeah.
Big difference.
Teaches you a lot about your own culture here as well.
Yeah.
I love this director because he does. I think The Chaser is would you call it an action movie?
It's thrilling.
It's like an action thriller. He does that, I think, perfectly. I think Koreans in general, I think Korean cinema is still highly underappreciated here in the States. We know who Park Chan-wook is. We know who the big directors are. But there's directors like that who are putting out amazing movies that should be showered with praise, and they're not, and it sucks.
Mm-hmm. And even for the Criterion crowd, Lee Chang-dong, I know Burning was very successful here a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Yep.
And if someone puts out like Oasis or Peppermint Candy, it will probably do well with them.
So
I would see Peppermint Candy exploding if that got released finally.
Yeah. I want a Chaser release. I want.
Dude,
you said that one's not a print?
Yeah, it's so stupid how insane it goes for. There's only a DVD here in the U.S.
DVD here, and I own the DVD, and the quality is not good. It's not good at all. But that poster is sick, though. That's a sick poster of the Chaser with the hand over the face, and it's the two faces. It's great.
I'm serious. That scene with that kid still messes with me.
Koreans don't. Koreans don't shy away from showing violence on children. Like Lady Vengeance, that shit fucks with me still. That scene where she's showing the parents of the murdered children the actual snuff film footage. It cuts away right at the right moment, but it shows you enough that your brain automatically plays the rest in your mind, and it makes you sick. Yeah, fuck kids. Korean's awesome. Korean directors are awesome. Just kidding. So is that it, Ice?
Yeah, only three. Yeah.
Okay, so my pick is Akira Kurosawa. Shock. It's a director. It might be one of my favorite. He is my favorite director. I don't talk about him enough because his movies are very personal to me. Seven Samurai is tattooed on my arm. I think it's the greatest piece of movie making ever. The honorable mention I want to get out of the way is, and I'm saying honorable mention because a lot of people say this is his best film, and you're wrong. But High and Low, which is a great movie. This is a great movie. This is a noir. It's based on a book. I believe the book is, let me see here. I have on my notes, King's Ransom by Ed McBain. So it's based on a 1959 novel. This came out in '63. So, but yeah, this is a great film. If you want to see Akira Kurosawa do a noir, I would pick this up. And anything that Criterion has put out, I really wish they would do their Eclipse sets on DVD or on Blu-ray, because I want to see Sanshiro Sagata.
Are they still doing them?
They haven't put one out since Shakuju, right? Horror came to Shakuju.
It has been a minute.
It's been a minute, but they have two Akira Kurosawa ones, which is the early films, and then post-war Kurosawa. And the early films one, there's two sequels called Sanshiro Sugata 1 and 2, which means Judo Saga. And I think they're just absolutely incredible. The same with The Men Who Tread on the Tiger's Tail. I don't know if you guys have seen those movies, but just incredible piece of early Japanese movies. I think Sanshiro Sugata came out in 1943. So, and the sequel came out in 1945. But just incredible. He has a broad body of work. And my least favorite on this list, and that's not to say it's a bad movie, it's just my least favorite on the list, is pre Seven Samurai, and that is Rashomon. Have you guys seen Rashomon at all?
Years ago.
It's a little trippy. It's a little psychedelic. Mifune just absolutely just devours just every scene he's in. He is just incredible. And I think most of these picks actually have Mifune in them, except for one or two.
I was going to ask you that, Flip. Have you seen it?
Stray Dog?
Yeah.
Love it. Love that movie.
That and Bad Sleep Well, I feel like are underrated.
There's not many directors that you can say every movie that he's done is good. Every movie that he's done is good. Like I have not seen an Akira Kurosawa film that has bored me. Every movie I've seen, which I've seen, I think 90% of his movies are just incredible. I left out specifically Yojimbo and Sanjuro because everyone loves those. But I wanted, and there are some big ones in here like
Dreams.
No, Dreams is not on my list. Dream is not on my list. The Hidden Fortress. So this movie is what was the main inspiration behind Star Wars. Was this movie right here. Again, it's got Toshiro Mifune in it. And it's about two, I wouldn't say they're peasants, but two like lower class people. And they join a clan and they have to like smuggle a girl. It's basically the plot line of Star Wars. Like, the bad guy's got to infiltrate. No, the good guy's got to infiltrate the bad guy's fortress. This release came out shortly after, a few years after Seven Samurai. So this is 1958, still black and white. And Akira Kurosawa, even though there was movies that were from Japan that were in color at this time period, he was still working with black and white. And when he did switch to color, it's incredible, and we'll get to that. But Kage Musha right here. So this movie is also very important because this was I would say it's like a test run for what became Ron. So this movie right here, George Lucas and help me out here, Francis Ford Coppola, Steven Spielberg helped raise more money for this movie to get made because Toho did not want to fund it all the way. They couldn't afford to. It's an epic in every sense of the word, but you can tell there is a little something missing, and that comes later with Ron. And Akira Kurosawa storyboarded most of this movie, and which would play into my next pick, storyboarding. My next two picks are tied because I do think they're both absolute masterpieces. I feel equally about these two films. And that is Ron. Ron, this is the new 4K release. This is and we're giving away a copy tonight. This movie is just spectacular. Akira Kurosawa spent 10 years storyboarding this film, and you can see you can just Google Akira Kurosawa Ron storyboards. He painted every scene in this movie, and he's not like his art's a little bit more. It's a little more obtuse. It's a little out there. It's a little weird. Let me see if I can pull a storyboard up. But he had a lot of hardships during this. During the making of this film, his wife had passed away. He was actually going blind making this film. Like during the filming, he was losing his eyesight. So this film is very personal to him. I'm going to pull up a screenshot here. So you open a new tab. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. So Kurosawa, which one is it? This one. Kurosawa storyboarded every single frame in this movie. Just beautiful. Like the way, and if you've seen that movie, you know what scene this is. It's a play on King Lear, which isn't the first time Kurosawa has done Shakespeare. He did Throne of Blood, which was a play on Macbeth, which is my second favorite Macbeth adaptation. I think the new Macbeth movie with Fassbender was incredible. Throne of Blood's really good too. And I could have picked Throne of Blood. I should have picked Throne of Blood because that movie's amazing. There's a scene in there where Mifune gets real live arrows shot at him.
Mm-hmm.
They shoot because they couldn't CG it. They shot arrows at him. It's wild. But this movie is about a king. Redbeard can drag a bit. I disagree. I disagree hard. I love Redbeard. I could have picked it too. Which that doesn't have a fucking Blu-ray.
No, Animago DVD, right?
Criterion DVD.
Okay.
It's a Criterion DVD. It was in their box set too. The Akira Kurosawa 25 films. But yeah, it's about a king who's losing his mind, and the difference between the Shakespeare version of this is that in the Shakespeare play, it's his daughters that he splits his wealth up with. In the movie, he splits his kingdom up with his sons.
Great use of color.
Great use of color.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Ryan, have you seen this?
Ron, yeah, it was a long time ago, but
incredible movie.
I don't think I've seen it even on DVD quality. I think it was on VHS quality last time I saw it.
Dude, it's this 4K transfer. I've seen people say it looks bad, it looks good. This I think is the best the movie has looked. I think it does have HDR.
Yes.
Yes, it does. But man, this makes me sad that we didn't get a special release. This is a 3-disc release, and there are some great special features in here, but a box set would have been so cool with a booklet on the writing about
like a studio canal?
Huh?
Like a studio canal with Carpenter?
Yeah, I would love if they did that to this, because this deserves it.
Imagine if they did the same thing like they did for Carpenter, do for 4 or 5 big Kurosawa's 4K releases like that.
That would be amazing. I mean, Kagemusha would
art something like this to set it off, all stylized similar.
Because honestly, this feels disrespectful. I don't, you know what I mean? This feels disrespectful. This feels like it just feels fucking rude. That this is one of the most important films in Kurosawa's life. It was the most expensive film in Japanese history up to that point. It's a very personal film. He spent 10 years developing it. He was going blind. His wife had passed. This is a very important film for him, and they just gave it a shitty slipcover. Ryan, does the U.S. release? How many discs is it?
2.
What's on the second disc? Is it just the special? Is it the feature?
Yeah, just Ron the Restoration and the movie.
Okay, so
this digital code, I believe.
Yeah.
So this comes with a third disc, and it has Akira Kurosawa feature-length Chris Marker documentary on Akira Kurosawa, Akira Kurosawa the Epic and the Intimate, Akira Kurosawa by Catherine Kado, Art of the Samurai, interview with the director of photography Shoji Ueda, interview with Michael Brook, interview with Miss Maiko Harada, stage appearance at Tokyo International Film Festival 2015, and then the special called The Samurai.
Yeah, there's a few more things on there, huh?
There's a lot. Right. Which again, 3 discs, you're going all out with special features. Just give it a nice package. Is Dreams good? Dreams is very good. Dreams is
as actual dreams.
Yeah, Dreams is like really personal to him. I would say even more so than Ron. And it's some of it hits you in the feels. And then what I think is the greatest movie of all time, Seven Samurai. This is an absolute masterpiece in filmmaking. This is set in the Sengoku period, I believe. Yes, it is set in the Sengoku period. It's about a group of bandits. Some of them are Ronin, some of them aren't Ronin. And they teach a group of villagers how to defend themselves. And it's basically like it's like the fall of the samurai. It's a beautiful film, like beautifully shot. Every scene's a painting. That's a phrase that there's even a YouTube channel. These two movies go hand in hand for me. Like this would be like if you have like 10 hours to kill, this is a good double feature for real. Like this would be an incredible double feature. This movie, if you don't own this, you need to own this. It's incredible. Mifune,
speaking of, before you dive into that, is there any do you think there's a realistic chance that we get the rumored Kurosawa box set from Criterion soon?
I don't think so. I think without this, they still. I feel like they lost the rights to a couple other things too. Unless I'm wrong, I feel like I read that they lost the rights to a few.
I know it's been rumored for literally like 2.5 years now.
I would love it. The box set that they put out was like 10 years ago, 10 or more years ago. It looks incredible, but that thing goes for a stupid amount of money now.
Yeah.
I would love a complete box set, even if they don't have Ron in it. Something I would like more than a box set is I want this in 4K. With how much I heard that the Criterion's 4K transfers look incredible, I want a 4K of this. I think black and white 4K. Ryan and I have talked about this a lot. I
could go if you need a minute.
So Toshiro Mifune's character in this movie isn't who he says he is, if you've seen the movie. And how do I word this without sounding lame? I've always felt I could do more, especially when I was younger. I've always felt like I was more than just who I was. I was severely overweight. I was almost 400 pounds. I was very depressed. I have tried killing myself once in the past. I used to cut all the time. Like my whole left arm is filled with cut marks. And when I watched this movie, I had already found myself. I had already found myself, but it made me feel like how do I say it? I'm trying to word this correctly. I wish I would have seen it sooner because I feel like I would have understood who I was deep down a lot sooner. Because of everything that's going on in this movie. The villagers, the Ronin, the people who aren't Ronin but act like samurai. I'm really bad with words when it comes to sentimental shit.
It's working very well. Keep going.
Ice is probably really stoned. Ricky. But yeah, it's a film that I wish I would have saw sooner because when I saw it, it made me realize that all my suffering, all my turmoil wasn't for nothing. Yeah. And I grew up as an only child. So and my parents owned a restaurant. I would be at home by myself. I used to listen to commentary on movies because I was so lonely and I wanted to have like background noise. So I had like friends there with me in my room. I would fall asleep listening to the commentaries, the failure to launch and Resident Evil all the fucking time. But yeah, and I found comfort in this movie. It's a movie I don't watch all the time, Like I've seen Lone Wolf done more than I've seen Seven Samurai. But every time I watch Seven Samurai, it just hits a little too hard, and it still is very impactful even now. After I have seen this more than a baker's dozen, but yeah, just amazing. I still actively, like probably once a week, I'll listen to a podcast about this movie to hear other people's interpretations. I'm not a film scholar. I'm not a critic. It's just a movie that I saw. It hit me in the feels. It changed my life, and it's about samurai. Samurais are cool. Well, that was the gay. Let's go into.
You have to ruin it there.
Feelings suck. We're doing a giveaway, guys. We're giving away Cinematic Vengeance. Joseph Quo. Sorry for saying the gay word, by the way. I should have said that. I am an Xbox generation kid. I should have said that. That's terrible. We're giving this away. The way we're doing this is I'm about to text Ryan. I'm about to text a Ryan a number between 1 and 25. And then when we say go, everyone one time, just one answer, say a number. Whoever says, if you guys don't say it after everyone answers, we're gonna give everyone a couple minutes. Then we'll do a round 2. Okay, so I'm texting Ryan right now. Number between 1 and 25. All right, Ryan, you got it?
How are you going to say 1 to 25 and then say 41? I'm just kidding. Yes, I got it.
So, yeah, and I want to highlight this, too, is that when you get into other movies like Harakiri or even the movie Bushido itself or, 11 Samurai, The Great Killing, that kind of break down what Bushido really is. Jeff just won the fucking box set. God damn it.
Except I thought you said when you say go.
Oh, my God. Oh, man. All right, Jeff. Wait, I did say when I say go. So should we redo it?
I say you got to redo it. Even though I was
Jeff,
going to say hey to Master Chaos. He's here.
What's going on, Master Chaos? Jeff, message me and I'll send you something. I will send you something. All right, guys. I'm texting Ryan a different number. Jeff, God damn it. Redo it. Jeff says redo it. Okay. Ryan's got the new number. Number between 1 and 25. Everyone gets one answer.
Hold on. Go. Before you say go.
Damn it. God damn
it. Never mind. I was just going to say, we had just had a couple people join in. We're doing a giveaway that we've been talking about for a couple weeks. He is giving away the Joseph Quo box set right now. And so now, number 1 to 25, send in one guess on what it is.
I will not ship to Canada, Dave. I am sorry. That shit is expensive. I do got to say, the Gamo set, which he's talking about right here, I did forget to show that off. I didn't realize how big it was. Did you get yours, Ryan?
Yeah, it is.
It's huge.
This thing is massive.
Well, we have a winner. It's fucking Master Chaos. All right, Master Chaos. We've messaged on Facebook before. Message me your address.
For the record, there is the winning number.
Number 24. He did say it. So congratulations to Master Chaos TV. What's he say before every video? Hey, everybody, it's your friendly neighborhood Master Chaos. Is that it? Yeah. So, yeah, there you go. Chaos. That's yours. Enjoy the Kung Fu. But we are giving a second prize away.
We are. And Dave is making a sad face. I will ship to Canada. So anybody can enter this one. Ron Steelbook. Here we go. My number has been sent to Flip. And I'm going to go a little crazy. We're going to say 1 to 35 this time.
Did you say go?
I am giving everybody a second so that they can hear that. And now, for Ron, send in your guess here. 1 to 35 and go. Ron Steelbook from Best Buy, free of charge, shipped to you.
Your number is so funny too.
Why is it funny?
It's just funny to me.
I love this username.
Do not resort to eBay.
All right. Skulder, what's going on? Skulder, we are giving away a Ron 4K Steelbook. If you're interested, I want to let you guess, and then I'm going to go a second round because nobody has guessed yet. We're going to send in one number between 1 to 35.
No one gets 35?
No one guessed 35, thankfully. Stendhal, I thought I recognized that cat in the picture.
He recognizes your pussy.
I do. All right, so we've gotten. Make sure you scroll up there so you can see everybody's guesses in the last 15 seconds. We have not gotten the correct guess on this. 1 to 35. We're going to go for a round 2. Everybody can guess one more time. Ready? Go.
I can't believe before we even said go.
Yeah, that was great.
17. Or yeah, it was like, what was it? Mine was 17, and he's like, "Yeah, got it." Oh man, some of these, dude. Oh my.
Master
Lord.
Chaos has won too much lately. I love how yours was guessed before you even said go, and nobody's guessing my number. We're glad to have you, Master Chaos.
This is fun. This is.
22 is a good guess, but that is not it. So we're going to go for a final round, I think. Final round for the Ron Steelbook. Everybody guess.
And if you guys don't guess it right, I get it. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I never agreed to that. All right, everybody, one more time. Number 1 to 35 that wasn't picked. Make sure you're looking at those. 1 to 35 that wasn't picked. Ready, go.
Yeah, guys, make sure you scroll up and look because some of you are guessing the same numbers.
So Ryan, are you a Jordan fan?
No. I grew up in Southern California. I'm a Kobe fan.
Oh.
One of them are still alive, so.
Jordan died in the 90s.
We have a winner.
Zach.
My
man. For the record, here is the number I sent to Flip.
Yep.
Number 3. Zach, I believe that you will see on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, anywhere where you can find the disconnected, go ahead and send me a message with your address, and I will get that sent out to you as soon as possible. Make sure you reference that you are Zach.
This is fun. I want to give something else away. We're gonna give away. We're gonna give away a VHS copy of The Lighthouse.
What the hell? I want this.
This is a real movie. This will play if you have a VHS.
I want this.
This is. I'm texting Ryan right now. VHS copy. This is between 1 and 50.
Did you see how long it took to get mine?
Just kidding. This is between 1 and 15. There we go. Or 1 and 20 because there's 20 people in here. I'm texting Ryan. There you go. Oh, some. All right, guys. I think 20 is fair because there's 20 people in here.
The number frame was that large on purpose because the 1 to 25, somebody got it on the very first try. So now it's going to be 1 to 20 for this random third giveaway that I had no clue was going to happen.
Yeah, I had no clue either. I just was like, you know what? Let's give this fucking thing away.
I think Flip's just feeling generous tonight.
I'm feeling generous.
Well, everybody started, so go ahead and go. Throw in a number. 1 to 20.
Next giveaway, I'm giving away every Shaw Brothers movie I own.
I'm gonna guess all the numbers.
I'm just kidding. That's not gonna happen. Oh, Dustin Lewis, you win. You get a copy of The Lighthouse on VHS. There you go, brother.
I hope he could play it.
It looks cool. There you go, Dustin. Congratulations, brother. All right, next giveaway. We're giving away a dog that is formed by the volcanic ashes from Sicily. All right, guys.
Jesus.
Did you guys hear that fart too? I laughed so hard I just tooted. Did you guys hear that? I didn't want to. All right, guys, we're giving away a Gears of War emulsion energy drink from 2008.
So, anyways, congrats to Dustin, congrats to Zach, congrats to Master Chaos.
Who wants to win my hat that I wear all the time?
Ice, earlier you had a question to the what movie has hit you in the feels the most. You want to answer that now?
Sure. Well, this Flip knows this about me, but I'm very involved with raising my nieces, and my youngest niece is in the middle of the spectrum. She's also nonverbal. So recently, I watched, like maybe a few years ago, Korean movie called Miracle in Cell Block 7. And that movie is about a single father who was obviously on the spectrum raising a kid, and an incident happens and he has to go to jail. And they, at first, inmates in his cell think he's like creepy and weird, but they end up helping him and try to sneak his daughter into the cell to spend time with him. Do you mind me spoiling?
No, go right ahead.
Eventually you find out that a little kid dies, and it made it seem like it was his fault, but he was actually trying to, because she fell on some ice and hit her head. But he tried to CPR and try to save her, but they thought he was like some type of pedophile or something. Well, the little kid ends up being the daughter of the police chief, and he ends up being railroaded, and they put him to death. And there was obviously a sad scene with him and his daughter when they take him away, and it's very heart-wrenching. And then his daughter grows up to be a lawyer and to get his record expunged for the truth that what happened. And it's very sad because, kids on the spectrum, get looked at different. And I obviously know when she gets older, she's not going to have the opportunities that a regular person will have. So I always, maybe overprotect her and stuff like that.
That's a lot.
Ice is a great uncle, by the way. Ice will text me at like 5 a.m. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing up? He's like, getting ready for school with my nieces. He's a good guy. We all three of us have something to do with on the spectrum.
Yep.
Like, all of us. That's awesome.
And honestly, I mean, with how much the spectrum has grown and we've discovered over the last 20 years, I'm willing to bet that the vast majority of the population is probably either on the spectrum or very close to, at least.
Mm.
I used to joke that I was, and then I am. So it's like,
especially how many parents nowadays aren't willing to diagnose.
Oh yeah,
who just ignore it. Because my sister deals with like kids a lot, and she sees parents who don't even try to like get help for them.
I mean, this is probably. I mean, none of my family watches this, but my little cousin, they believe he's on the spectrum, and my aunt was not like, she was like very upset. It's like, why? Like why are you upset by that? Like, and he's a little autistic, but it's like why is that such a bad word? Like, why is that such a negative?
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of that, though, is generational. I mean, if you look at what they called autistic in the 80s and 90s, it was a very different world back then. Yeah. And the people that they called autistic were mostly the really non-functioning or very low functioning, at least, individuals. And nowadays, I mean, my 6-year-old's autistic, and he can. I mean, the kid is freaking brilliant. He's already reading like a 3rd grade level, and he just started 1st grade. He is already like, how tall is he now? He is 4 foot. I think he's 4'8" or 9" already.
And he's taller than me in like 3 years.
Yeah, and and everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, you're saying he's smart, whatever." I say that because he is so big and not like fat or muscular or anything. He's a twig.
A big kid.
He is a giant kid, but he has fallen for sports because of that. And this kid knows every city for every major sport, every team.
Awesome.
We will watch football highlights from 4 years ago, and he'll be like, "Watch what they do on this next play," and he'll describe the whole play. It'll be fucking perfect. I'm like, how do you know that? Yeah,
I feel like your son and my cousin, who's on the spectrum, would get along great because he is so into football that he's 7 and he reads what players are getting traded, who's out, and I'll call him and be like, "Filippo, what's up, buddy?" And he's like, Popo, Ben Roethlisberger's out this like week, and he's like, "Did you hear about Aaron Rodgers?" And I'm like, "You are 7 years old and you know all this."
Yeah.
And then my kid's already doing math. Like, she knows like multiplication and shit, and she has the ability to sing a song to you, and she'll replace one word with fart.
Dave, I completely agree.
I do. What is normal? Because like my mom always is like, "Why don't you dress like a normal dad?" Because I'll wear like, band T-shirts or hockey jerseys, and she's like, "Dress like a normal dad." Like what? Like khakis? Like I'm gonna go golf? Never catch me golfing.
I'm the white dude. I'll wear khakis with a band shirt.
Fuck yeah! See, that's how you do it. Like, what is normal exactly?
There is no such thing as normal.
Because Taylor has said multiple times, like, "I'm glad you're not like normal guys." Like, what the fuck does that mean?
Depends what they're used to, I guess.
That is the big thing. They have a picture of normal in their head.
Because I guess I'm really into Dota. I don't know if you guys play Dota. I don't really like the Super Bowl, but like the Dota, it's a video game like League of Legends. And every year during the international, I watch it like it's the Super Bowl. Like I am into the. And she's like, most husbands like have like friends over for the Super Bowl, and you are like all gamed up. Like I have like my favorite team's jersey. Like I'm fucking watching this shit. And she's like, "And you're watching Dota?" I'm like, yeah. Or she'll go, "Can we watch a movie without subtitles, please?" I'm like, there's no such thing as a good movie without subtitles.
My wife never watched with subtitles until we started watching movies together. And now when I go to put something on that doesn't have it, she's like, "Where are the fucking subtitles?"
I think it was like a Netflix statistic that like 70% of all households just leave subtitles on.
Yep.
Which is awesome because it's the only way.
Way more than I thought.
Which then I think also makes people who wouldn't, like my parents, who wouldn't watch a foreign movie feel more comfortable going into a foreign movie. Like my parents watched Parasite, which 10 years ago, if I said, "Hey, you want to watch a Korean thriller?" they would be like, "The fuck?" But now, they will.
It dictates reading for your kids as well if you just do it all the time.
Oh, you know what's funny though is that they would say no to that, but my dad would watch Italian movies with subtitles. I'm like, "What's the difference, Dad?" You just watch. He's like, "I don't really pay attention. I just do it for your mom." Just finished watching Rabid 1977, Vaccine Cards, Martial Law.
Rabid is great.
I'm pro vaccine cards. I hope they enforce that shit because I think it's hilarious.
Speaking of subtitles, I was watching Rec with my wife the other day in our bedroom while the kids were off. One was watching some math show, and I only know that because he kept shouting numbers at our TV, and the other one was playing video games, and they were all just cool for a little while, and then it got quiet, and I didn't realize the 5-year-old was walking in there, and we were watching Rec, so I was like, pause, and so they came in, and on the screen it said, "Where the hell are you going?" or something like that, and the kid was like, "Where the hell are you? Hey, Mom." It was so great.
I learned how to spell fucking bitch because of Hooked on Phonics. When I was like 5, I was like, fuck, Fuck, my mom was like, What? But my mom would let me cuss in Italian. Like that was the rule. It's like if we're in public in America, you can cuss in Italian. So we went to the airport in Chicago. And we were going to O'Hare, which is a lot of Italians. And I started cussing in Italian. She's like, "You can't do that here. You cuss in English here." And I'm like, "Okay." Like, fuck. Figli Butana, testa de minghia.
We never talked about that. Anything from the last week that you guys watched that you want to highlight other than what you picked
Night
up?
House. The Night House.
Night House.
Oh my! I don't like horror movies that much, and I've said this before. But Taylor and I wanted to watch a movie. I think just on a whim saw someone on my Letterboxd feed said, "No, it was the podcast Food for Thought." He said on the podcast that it's one of the best movies he's seen all year. It makes you think, and it's about not the spoiler thing, but just do a brief synopsis. It's about a woman who's married to a guy. Her husband kills himself, and she tries to find out why. And
weird things happen in the house.
It goes places, and I feel like it's the same director who did God, what was that movie? It's a folk horror movie where the boys are on a bachelor trip and they're in the woods and they were going to go backpacking.
The Ritual.
The Ritual. It's the same director as that. Just this one's way better than that movie.
The Ritual's great.
No, the Ritual is great, but in terms of just direction and his ability grew between those two movies. It's phenomenal. The main actress, she needs to win an Oscar. She won't because it's, a horror movie. But what's her name? It is Rebecca Hall.
Oh, yeah.
She kills it in this movie. Incredible. I highly recommend it. The whole thing's an allegory for depression and grief and loss. And it's me and Taylor doesn't usually stay up very late. So we started, the baby woke up in the middle of it. So we paused for 45 minutes. And by the time it was finished, it was 5:30 in the morning. And then we stayed up and talked about it for another hour because we liked it so much.
Blood and Black Lace is great, Dave.
I also watched the Oxbow Incident.
Oh, didn't Kino put that out, right?
Arrow. Well, maybe they did, and I have the Arrow one.
You're probably right.
That's James Stewart?
Let me see who's in the cast here. Henry Fonda.
Okay. Henry
Fonda, Dana Andrews, directed by William A. Wellman, who did Public Enemy and Wings. For fucking real? Oh, dude. That's got potential.
Just got announced recently.
That's got major potential now. The Lighthouse was incredible. Ryan, you probably know this, but the code of ethics, is it the code of ethics that Hollywood imposed on movies?
Oh, the code, yeah, pre-code.
When did that start?
34, 35, somewhere around there, mid to late 30s.
Because this movie came out in 43, which I think the code is still around then. And the Oxbow Incident, almost breaks some of those rules. I was watching and I was like, man, this feels like it shouldn't have been made when it happened.
Thanks, Hans. I was pretty close there. July of 34.
And maybe that's why I don't like noir so much. Is because a lot of them were made during that time period with the code.
Have you ever watched any pre-code noir?
No.
A lot of the pre-code films are
pretty
Scarface.
Good. Scarface. That's a great movie. 32. Yep. But
by the way, that imprint release you talked about,
I loved, dude, amazing. That's what I have. It's over there. I forgot to grab it, but incredible release. Did that come out this year?
I think so. Yeah.
I don't think so because that's number 37 in imprint, and the one I just watched that just came out is 87. I don't think they've put out 60 units this year.
Dustin's
or
been
50 units.
The Rurouni Kenshin movies.
Nice.
And Red Sorghum and Martial Law. The Kenshin movies, guys, if you haven't seen them, they're the best modern samurai movies. I think it's the second best anime adaptation / manga adaptation behind Lone Wolf and Cub. Like all 5 movies are good. The 2 on Netflix are standalone-ish. But if you watch the first 3 and then the 2 on Netflix, you'll get better rewarded.
Other than Rick, my big one that I watched this week that I wanted to share with everybody, if you haven't seen it yet, Scream Factory put this out, gosh, I think 2019, and then Imprint just released this, but it has all of the same special features as Scream Factory. Shout Factory is even listed on the disc in many situations. That is Let's Scare Jessica to Death. This film is great. It is from 1971, and it's very similar to a lot of the the housewife is going crazy type of films from the mid 1960s. Stuff like Whatever Happened to Aunt Alice. Gosh, I can't remember the title of them. There's a couple more that came out around that time that are sort of like sentences like this, and usually it mentions somebody by name. It starts off, the main character, Jessica, was just released from an institution after being institutionalized for a little while. She was living in New York City, and so they are moving out to this farm in Connecticut. And while they're out there, they go up to this farm that they've never seen, and they walk upstairs, and they find a woman just living in the house. She's just squatting. And weirdest plot device I've ever seen, well, not ever, but in a movie in a very long time. They're like, hey, you want to hang out? After they come into this house, and this chick is just squatting there, like, hey, you want to have dinner? And then she just ends up staying with them. So it turns out the house is potentially haunted, and it there's some random things where the person that cannot trust herself because she was just institutionalized, she starts seeing things, and perhaps it suddenly turns into a vampire movie.
A vampire movie?
It is a vampire movie. It is a very slow burn, kind of a psychological, not really a thriller, just like a psychological drama. It's not really a horror movie though, but it's the biggest thing is it's superbly acted. The person that plays Jessica is ridiculously good. Her name, by the way, is Zora Lampert, and she is great. Absolutely amazing.
And you said that Scream just put that out?
Like a year and a half, 2 years ago, something like that.
Okay.
What's going on, FJ? Enjoy The House of Gucci. I've been wanting to see that as well.
Gucci?
What was that going to be, Ice?
I was going to say that if we continue the horror train, the literal last movie I saw was Hereditary.
Nice.
Did you like it?
I did like it, but I did have some problems with it.
Well, okay, so Ice and I talked about this last night, but why don't you tell him what your problems were with it?
Because this is Ari Aster, right? And people like to like. I didn't like he literally showed like the nut scene, like nuts on the cutting board to show that she was gonna die at the party. Like I'm gonna assume she's gonna die from eating the cake. What else? I didn't like that the mom forced the kid to the party. Ron, as a parent, you wouldn't force your kid if they were,
especially that young. How old is she in that movie, Ryan?
I don't think they ever say, but if I was guessing,
11?
like around, I was going to say 12, somewhere around there.
Yeah, no, 12, 11, you'll need to be going to a high school party.
Yeah. And did you guys know, when I first saw it, I didn't realize when he jumped out the window, he died. Did you realize that?
Yeah.
I thought that was a little bit of a cop-out way to kill him.
Yes, there are certain things you're saying I agree with. That's one of them. The nut scene, I sort of disagree. Obviously, it is to build up that tension of something coming, but I think the fact that she doesn't die from that is what makes that scene okay in my mind. If she had just died from eating a nut, then it would have been awful.
No, but because it was in the cake. It
was the catalyst. Yeah.
Yeah, I would assume if she's eating the cake and she started asphyxiating, that is because the cake has nuts in it. I didn't need to see like a whole mountain on a cutting board.
And Ice, you want to know what's even nuts? Is that she doesn't even die from them.
No. that definitely shocked me. When from the trailer, I thought she was in it longer in the movie.
Right. The other scene with the mom forcing her to go, it was cringy and obviously something I would never do. But I think for the story, it's a good thing because it makes her and the son both feel culpable in the death. Because if she hadn't forced her daughter to go, nothing bad would have happened.
Now, do you think the sound she was making throughout that movie was foreshadowing to the sound of her head getting popped off? Dude, so Taylor and I watched that, and Taylor is very scared easily. After that movie was over, at night we'd be laying in bed, and I would wait 10 minutes so I know she's about to fall asleep, and I would just go. It'd be dead silence. She'd be like, "Stop it!" Just freak out.
How did she feel about the religious aspect of the movie?
So here's the thing: is like Taylor, she's pretty religious, but like she's not like I don't like kind of like mean about it. Like she watches that stuff and she finds it interesting.
Okay.
We watched.
I didn't expect the King of Hell like twist to it.
I loved it. I thought that was so cool. I was like, man, I hope my grandma's that rad. Because she's just a little old Italian lady with her rosary. I'd be like, how cool would it be if that cross was upside down? You know what I do at the restaurant sometimes is we have crosses at the restaurant. My parents are Catholic, and I'll walk by and I'll turn one and just wait and see how long it takes for my mom to be like, ah, what the fuck is that? Play Bob.
I will ask. The last time we talked about Hereditary, I brought up Ari Aster's short film, The Strange Thing About the Johnsons. Did you ever seek that out?
Nope. So
if anybody in the chat was wondering, here is the link to see it on Vimeo.
It's on Vimeo?
It is on Vimeo, and it's a half hour long. It's not just like a short film. It's pretty long for a short. It is weird as fuck. Like, don't go into this expecting, YouTube level okay short film. It is weird. Like, there's some explicitness. It is wild. If you've never seen it, put some time into it. I know it's a half hour, but it is really good. And the best thing for me is you can really see the evolution from that to Hereditary to Midsommar, and see aspects of everything that he does in this tiny little short film. And it's really well shot. And yeah, you can see a lot of his potential in it.
Now, do we know what he's doing next? Because I feel like we know what a lot of those A24 directors are doing.
We do, I believe, and I don't want to misspeak, so let me grab the link real quick.
Is it him or Eggers are doing a Nordic or Viking one?
That is Eggers.
Okay.
And that is the Northman, I believe, or the Norseman.
Yeah, I cannot wait for that movie. Because I heard it's going to be a little bit more action-y, and I want to see him do action.
So Oster's next one is called Disappointment Boulevard. It's a decade-spanning portrait of one of the most successful entrepreneurs of all time. But here's where this gets awesome. The star of the film, Joaquin Phoenix.
Okay.
Joaquin Phoenix, Amy Ryan, and Parker Posey.
I'd like to ring around that Posey. I don't even know what she looks like. Who is that? Parker Posey?
Yeah, she has been in all kinds of stuff.
Would I recognize her if I see her face?
Yes. Let me pull it up real quick.
Oh.
Oh, you already on it. Okay.
Yeah. Not my type. She looks like she'd speak to the manager.
Michael Gandolfini's also in this. Nathan Lane's also in this.
What a link. Is it? She's the vampire chick from Blade.
Oh, okay. I know who you're talking about. She's in Dazed and Confused according to her filmography too.
Yeah.
Have a good night, Jeff.
Jeff, I love you, buddy. Sorry. you instantly guessed it. That's funny. Flip, you'll know Parker Posey from Blade 3 was terrible, but I do know.
She was in all kinds of films in the 90s.
Is there anything you guys are looking forward to?
Like release wise?
release or theater release?
Havoc, Gareth Evans, man. I'm so fucking pumped. It's done. That's my most anticipated fucking movie. God damn, I'm so excited for that. Tomorrow, it looks like Eureka's announcing The Odd Couple.
Mm-hmm.
That so, the Sammo Hung movie, not The Odd Couple.
Want to get a double release, a double Asian release?
Maybe I would really like them to start doing that a lot more. But I heard a rumor that Eureka's doing an Asian film every month next year, and so far, I mean, we get the announcement tomorrow, but the picture they tease it with is of an Asian film, The Odd Couple. We're 3 for 3, so man, it's gonna fucking suck.
Not to be too cliche with who I am, but I'm still looking forward to Scream coming out here in a couple months.
Horror-wise, I'm looking forward to that Ethan Hawke movie. Was it The Black Book?
Yep, or The Black Phone, I think.
Yeah, The Black Phone. My bad.
What's the movie that Shaw put out, that the Western?
Old Henry.
Old Henry, yes, that's what I need to watch that tonight.
Yeah, The Black Phone, I've heard very good things about. I was just told not to expect Sinister because it's from Derrickson, who did Sinister, obviously with Ethan Hawke, and it's very, very different.
I'm waiting for John Wick, man. John Wick, Matrix. Here's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in if The Matrix is a good movie, but if certain people will automatically bash it because it's a trans film, or is it going to be a terrible movie? I feel like this is going to turn into a culture war thing. It's going to be one of those things where it's like, if it's bad and you say it's bad, you're going to get labeled a certain way.
I hate to say it. I think a lot of the hype behind The Matrix is a lot behind us. I don't think it will have nearly as big of a cultural impact as the first one did.
I don't know, dude. I don't know. It's got fucking it's got what's his name in it?
It's got names in it, yeah, but I don't think it's, the fact that the people that really saw The Matrix when it was coming out were the 18 to 35-year-olds, and now everybody's stoked on this Matrix is the 35-year-olds.
I think it's going to be a good action movie.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be really good.
F the new Matrix, says Chemical Ninja. Strong disagree, but also your picture is bleach, my friend. Your picture is bleach. You can't have an opinion. If you like bleach,
let's not insult the viewers.
I'm just kidding. Bleach is terrible. No, I'm kidding. Bleach is cool up until volume 42, I think it is what I read, and then after that, it was like.
I'll always hear end of the society arc.
No, a little past the Soul Society arc is good. I think like volume 42. It's like in the 40s, and then it just continues.
I think we can't really judge anything off a teaser right now from Matrix.
Now, next year, John Wick 4 and Havoc are the two my most anticipated action movies. One of them is going to suck because there's no way that we're going to have good things. It's true. This is what if life has taught me anything, is that first off, John Wick sounds too good to be true.
And didn't you mention that the guy left?
The main writer, Eric Kolstad, or whatever his name is. He got fired from Lionsgate. Well, they hired writers for the fourth one. For the third one, they hired additional writers, which I think story-wise is the worst of the three. And then those two people are also writing it. And the credits, I'm going to pull up their credits. It's written by Michael Finch, who wrote Hitman, Agent 47, who wrote Countdown. I don't know if you guys have seen that. It's got a 2.1.
Isn't that with Tom Segura in it?
Wait,
that's the one where you use an app to guess how long you live?
I think that might be the one with Tom Segura. He wrote The November Man.
Oh, God.
Yeah, and he also wrote American Assassin with fucking Michael Keaton, and then he wrote Predators, which I actually like Predators. So, but yeah, so then the other writer, it gets worse. Shay Hatton, he wrote Army of the Dead, Army of Thieves, and he's writing apparently all the fucking Zack Snyder movies. He's writing Planet of the Dead. He is, and Rebel Moon by Zack Snyder. Man, what the fuck? This guy has had no credits until fucking Army of the Dead. And he's writing Ballerina, which is the spin-off John Wick film. So yeah, the writers I'm really worried about, but the fucking cast. Keanu Reeves, Donnie Yen, Lawrence Fishburne, Ian McShane, Bill Skarsgård, Hiroyuki Sanada, Lance Reddick, Clancy Brown, Scott Adkins. God damn. That's too good to be true. The movie's going to be terrible. And I'm saying this as someone who is a massive John Wick fan. I really hope it's not bad. I hope Chad Stahelski can navigate a bad script. But then again, the guy who wrote Chernobyl, that great HBO series, wrote fucking like Eurotrip and shit.
Yeah.
So you could
Eurotrip is great though.
Yeah, don't shit on Eurotrip.
Okay, hang on. Let me find out exactly what he wrote because it was.
Thank you, Ice.
All right, so Ice was instantly like, "Hey, fuck you." Don't. The writer for what the fuck? Where's the writer at? It doesn't even say. It does not say on Letterboxd. The Chernobyl writer, yeah, the writer is not on there. Very weird, but yeah, he wrote one of some of those bad comedies. So you could potentially. I mean, look at Derek Kolstad. He didn't have a hit really until John Wick, and then it was Nobody. And
well, writers are kind of different sometimes too. Until they have a big name, a lot of times they get a credit, but they really only came in to fix a couple scenes or do another version of a script or something. Writing is an odd beast in Hollywood. If something's a failure, you can't necessarily put it all on the writers. Even if the script is bad, it's not always that writer.
That's true. I mean, and this is proven with Taylor Sheridan.
Right.
Where I think Taylor Sheridan's best movie he didn't direct. And they got rewrote, which was Sicario. Day of the Soldado, which is better than the original, right, Ice?
Oh my god!
Wasn't the plan that you? Yeah. So we would have had John Wick 4 and The Matrix 4 were supposed to come out on the same day this year in theaters.
That never would have happened.
I think it would have.
One of them would have delayed. There's no way they would have gone up against.
Which one do you think would have delayed? Which property is bigger? Do you think? Now,
I think Matrix would have delayed.
I think so too. I think John Wick is.
Because it has the steam.
I just hope they don't fucking waste Sonata and Donnie Yen's talents. I really hope they don't.
I mean, from what I'm seeing most often than not, when there's a big cast like that, it's usually not good. Hollywood with big actors all together.
But Chad Stahelski, I think, is a good action director. So.
But do you think John Wick has been steadily declining a bit?
No, so I think all three movies are good. I think the action in all three movies have been.
And you put them on equal footing with each other.
Action-wise, I think 2 is better. I think 2, 1, and 3.
Nobody is gauging all the movies action-wise necessarily, though, to base the quality.
Yeah, as a whole.
I think as a whole, okay, this is a weird question from you because I like all of them. The only thing I don't like about 3 is that weird part where he's in the desert. That's the only part about 3. If they would,
what I don't like about 3 is they need to stop with Keanu doing like the ending boss battle fight. He is getting old.
Oh my god, the raid guys, they had to slow down their choreography.
Exactly. You could tell that if this wasn't in the script, they'll kick his ass any day.
Yeah, and I read that Donnie Yen is his friend in this movie, so which makes sense because Donnie Yen would run laps around Keanu Reeves.
True, but Donnie, did you see the last? Man, Donnie's getting slower too.
Yeah, but Raging Fire, he fucking kicked ass in though. So
I haven't seen it yet, but you said there wasn't a lot of hand-to-hand combat, right?
At the end, there's a nice hand-to-hand combat scene.
Okay.
Like they saved it for the between Nicholas Che and Donnie Yen. Fucking great final fight.
Well, this last comment right here, can you highlight it? This is based off a comic, so if they were to do another one, it have to be original material. So I don't know if they will.
They announced it. They said it's going to Netflix. It's gonna be a Netflix exclusive. They bought the rights.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
I mean, I feel like here's the thing is that like that studio that puts out the John Wick movies, which they've changed their name twice. 87. Let me pull it up. Let's go to John Wick 4 because I'm sure it'll just be 8711 Productions. Anything that they do, I'll pretty much give a chance to because their track record is really good. You got John Wick 1 through 4, Atomic Blonde. You got Kate. You also got Ballerina, which is coming out. And they're doing the Ghost of Tsushima live action movie. So, and they're doing the director of Atomic Blonde has a new movie coming out called Bullet Train. Have you heard of this, Ryan?
Is that the follow up to Train to Busan or the U.S. remake or whatever?
No,
they're renaming that. What is that called?
Last Train to New York, I think.
Got it, something like that. Yeah.
But no, this is a movie by David Leitch who co-directed the first John Wick. He did Deadpool 2, Atomic Blonde, and he did Hobbs and Shaw, the Fast and the Furious movie. He's directing a movie, and the basic plot is five assassins aboard a fast-moving bullet train find out that their mission have something in common. So it's gonna be like a big brawl in a bullet train. And it's got Brad Pitt, Joey King, Michael Shannon, Sandra Bullock, Hiroyuki Sanada. It's got fucking Bad Bunny in it. It's got so many actors. It looks good.
That is a crazy cast.
Crazy cast. So I don't know how people thought about Kate. I thought Kate was fucking great.
I still need to see it.
Dude, I read one of the reviews said that they need to quit having a white woman be the savior of like Asian culture. And it's not that at all. I rolled my eyes at that so much. That movie.
Yeah, because Tom Cruise is great.
Like it's such a good movie. It's such a good movie. There's a scene between two Japanese men. They have like a fucking they're both like heads of the Yakuza. They have a sword fight. And it's fucking quick, it's vicious, and it's awesome. It's so it's so good.
With John Wick 4, though, the one thing that wasn't really mentioned here that could be sort of the elephant in the room, with the cast like that, a lot of times they are hyping the cast, but then most of them are only in it for like 2 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, how also Scott Adkins is in it. How much you want to bet he's a Russian? He's always being casted as Russian.
I saw someone said no Fishburne is in it. Is it true?
Fishburne's in it. He's not in Matrix.
Oh, okay.
Morpheus is some new actor. What was I going to say about John? Oh yeah, the tagline for John Wick 4 is Hakaguri, which is the same book that that's part of Ghost Dog that he reads. Like you know how he's like always reading. That's from that movie. So I want to know. I can't fucking stand Joss Whedon like dialogue. And that
I was gonna say I haven't seen it yet, and obviously I'm a big fan of the original, but from the trailers it's very quippy, which the anime plays it straight, and it seems a lot more campy. And some of the dialogue from people posted in the group, like what's that? The woman talking to Jet saying she loves black men.
She basically was like, "I want that big black dick." Like is what she basically says that in a Joss Whedon way.
Yeah, it's like I don't know. I say if you do enjoy the Netflix live action, seriously give a chance to the original.
If you like the live action Cowboy Bebop, drink bleach because it's
no.
Okay.
Drink bleach and read Bleach.
Yeah. I just didn't like it. I'm not a fan of Whedon at all. People, I mean, I think Firefly is the worst thing to happen to modern sci-fi because everything after that has to somehow, talk like those characters. And Bebop literally is like some people consumed a bunch of Joss Whedon stuff, hit themselves on the head with hammers, and then wrote a script. That's what Cowboy Bebop is. It's not good.
Well, the fan bases we should destroy right
now. Jaws sucks. You want to talk about that?
Come on.
I'm just kidding.
No, you're not.
Ava was also good. I don't think women can be good action stars. I'm not. No. I say that as like a half joke, but this year we've had so many women-based action movies. Fucking Jolt was garbage. Was dog shit. Gunpowder Milkshake was awful. The Old Guard was awful too. Like I kind of enjoyed parts of it, but good premise, just awful. The only one I liked was Kate. And before that, I kind of like Salt a little bit. Kill Bill, fantastic. But man, the thing that I think that what's her name in Kill Bill?
Uma Thurman.
I think my problem is that when an actor can't sell the fights, I think who's the girl in Atomic Blonde? Charlize Theron. Yeah. I think Uma Thurman and Charlize Theron are great actresses, and they can sell the fights. Kate Beckinsale is a good actress, but couldn't sell the action sequences. I think Angelina Jolie couldn't sell the action scenes in Salt or Mr. and Mrs. Smith. And then I think the main actress, Karen Gillan of Gunpowder Milkshake, could not sell those fights. Everyone else was great in that movie. She was just like literally the dialogue in that movie. A guy sits down and he's like, "Hey there, baby girl," and she's like, "Mommy told me not to talk to strangers." And I was like, all of this is gonna be the whole movie, and it was the entire movie. I was like, yes, the Villainess, right here. That's a perfect example. The Villainess is one of the best modern action movies in the last 10 years. Yeah, everyone's talking about The Villainess, dude. That movie is insane. Chocolate as well. Ice told me about Chocolate, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
is it?
So I should rephrase that statement. White women can't sell action.
Take that, Cynthia.
I'm just kidding, guys. I'm just kidding. I like to say something ridiculous, but then also share my actual opinion.
Which is usually the same thing.
But in a more nicer way.
Drink bleach, but slowly.
Only after you've reached chapter 4 or volume 42 engage. Yeah, Villainess is great. By the way, Arrow has a great release of that.
I don't think it's well go in the US if you want to pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, so there's two releases. I think Blade the Immortal and Villainess I picked up at the same time from Arrow because they actually have special features on them, and they're good. The way he does backflips like Mila Jovovich. I mean, I used to have a huge crush on Mila Jovovich, dude. Which, again, another thing, dude. Speaking of Mila Jovovich, and we were talking about Donnie Yen, his talents being wasted in Hollywood. Her latest movie, Monster Hunter, fucking Tony Jaa. I really feel like Tony Jaa and Donnie Yen and Iko Uwais, their talents are wasted in Hollywood.
Tony Jaa's like ever since
The Protector, or no, which came?
He's been getting like secondary like sidekick roles from what I've seen.
I would be pissed if I was the three of them, and I had their managers because, like Donnie Yen, I think Donnie Yen could be a huge star in the States. Tony Jaa was fucking massively, and then Iko Uwais. His if you look at his American movies, Mile 22.
But he loved the paycheck, though.
Yeah, the paycheck's great. And he choreographed all the... Mile 22, I think there's a good movie with a different cut in that. Because he choreographed all the action sequences. The editor did that fucking choppy... And I think Ryan and I have talked about this before. You can do choppy editing and make it work. I think the Bourne movies are good.
Taken does that choppy thing.
The first one...
That's the one I brought up as the bad example is Taken.
Yeah. Porter Crew did an episode on that.
Fury's another good one. Guys, I was kidding. Fucking everyone's like naming. They're like everyone's naming women in movies. Fury was all right.
Yeah, none of them are white women either.
Exactly. There you go. Name besides Kill Bill and the ones I talked about. Name. Guys, stop with the women in the movies. Guys, I know women are equal, but if they are equal, why haven't they oppressed an entire gender?
By the way, this person is saying, Dave, only realized you're talking about the actor who plays Saul Goodman in the Nobody movie. Was it good? Nobody is great. It is basically a universally loved movie, which is super rare.
Yeah, I think that has my favorite kill in recent movies is that double headshot with the sniper rifle. Fucking great. Nobody was great, man. I highly recommend it. What's his name?
Bob Odenkirk.
Bob Odenkirk kills it. And it's basically, if you're a dad, it's a dad power fantasy. I go to work every day. I'm like, I hope somebody steals my daughter's kitty cat bracelet so I can go on a murderous rampage. But you like Kate. Oh, didn't sell it for me. I thought she sold it. I thought she sold it. I thought she did great.
It's the same actress as Scott Pilgrim, right?
Yeah. What's her name? Mary Elizabeth Weinstein. Yeah, she's great in that movie, I think, in my opinion. Some beautiful. I think David says he considers Nobody part of the Wickverse. Apparently, Atomic Blonde is too. They talked about doing a crossover.
That would be dope.
But that's like during the Cold War, isn't it?
Yeah, I believe so.
I feel like in the next couple of years, we're going to get a lot of John Wick because, 5 is already confirmed. They got the Continental TV show, which is going to be hour-long episodes. I think it's like 4 episodes. It's like a short series, but it's hour-long. The Continental. It's about Ian McShane's character when he was young in the 80s, running the Continental. And then we got the Ballerina movie, which is about one of the ballerinas. And I think it's the third one where he goes to see. Yeah, so it's about that.
That helped Wick.
Yeah, so we're getting a bunch of John Wick stuff, which is fine with me. I love it. So
it's only fine if the quality stays high, though.
Yes, that's the issue. Is if the quality is going to stay high. That's too much Wick.
Honestly, I tend to agree. Like,
I know.
Hold on.
I'm just fucking with you.
Like the fact that there's going to be literally, with everything confirmed, what is it? 7 movies or 6 movies?
4 or 5 plus Ballerina.
Plus Ballerina. Isn't there another one?
I don't think so. Is there?
Okay, maybe not.
Atomic Blonde 2, I guess technically, if you want to.
So six movies and at least one season of a show. Or a mini series, and then if that is anywhere remotely successful, they're going to be like, all right, you're greenlit for another 2 seasons, and at that point, it's just too much.
I'm really excited. Chad Stahelski's doing the live adaptation of Ghost of Tsushima, which is my favorite PlayStation 4 game. Incredible! It's a samurai game. Incredible. I can't wait to see him do that, and I'm wondering if Shang-Chi does so well that they'll let straight up Asian stars be in that movie and not try to.
I've heard it's been doing good.
Yeah, and also he's doing the Highlander reboot, starring Henry Cavill. He's going to be Connor McLeod of the Clan of Cloud. I love Highlander.
All of them?
Even the fucking TV show. I love that shit. You know what show I used to love was the Mortal Kombat one because it came on, I think, right after Highlander because I used to watch them back to back. So it was like Highlander, Mortal Kombat, and that shit's so cheesy and bad, but I love it. What are you guys looking forward to in the comments? You guys got any movies that are coming out that you guys are looking forward to? Any
Nightmare Alley.
Yeah, that looks.
Nightmare Alley looks good.
Even my dad's interested in that. He's like, "Hey, is that the guy from the Hangover movies and The Star Is Born?" Like, yeah, Dad.
Has your dad? Oh, he seen Del Toro? Probably Pacific, right?
He's seen Hellboy.
Okay.
He really likes Hellboy. But I just think he likes Ron Perlman. Yeah.
Sam Crow.
Dude, fucking Sons of Anarchy was just soap opera for men.
I fucking love that show.
I love that shit too, dude. My dad and I would watch it at work, and then whenever Opie died, he was like, "God!" Like he came close to crying.
It was a big deal.
You never seen your dad cry?
I've seen him cry twice in my entire life. One when my cousin died, and one when my daughter was born. That's it. But he was like, "Fucking Opie." Not when I graduated high school. Not when I had any accomplishments in my life. When fucking Opie died, my dad was like, "Oh, the Kingsman." Oh, speaking of my dad, Ryan, he called me and was like, "I just saw Cry Macho." He goes, "That shit sucked." I was like, "Really, Dad?" He's like, It's like he's 91. He needs to let it go.
Oh yeah, about 20 years ago.
He's like that fucking rooster was the star of the movie. If you guys have seen Cry Macho,
I gotta be honest. This one is getting to me.
I'm so over it.
I'm not.
Okay, I guess I am kind of. my friend Nick, we were at the restaurant Sunday night, and he was like, "Dude, tickets are up." And he's like, "Do you want me to get you one?" And I was like, "No, my wife would not let me go to a movie unless there's
I've already got opening weekend tickets.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Are you taking the boys?
No, I'm going on my own with another friend for the first time in ages.
Whoa.
Yeah. My big thing is for a movie like that, there are certain Marvel movies that are a little too much for my kids, and I got to make sure it's not that kind first. I don't think they're going to do it with Spider-Man. It'll be something else that's a little too serious, but you also never know. I mean, they're going down the multiverse route, so.
And this is the Sinister Six fighting him, right?
Yeah.
All those villains. Huh?
How do you guys feel about Phase 4 so far? If you guys have seen anything.
I've only seen Black Widow, which I actually did enjoy.
I enjoy Black Widow too. I've not seen Eternals.
I don't understand the hate against. You remember that guy that talked about her muscles weren't big in the group?
The fucking Mexican guy?
Yeah.
So what's his name? That dude is so. I had to unfriend him.
We had somebody in the group complain that they didn't look physically fit to be superheroes.
This dude was complaining. He's not even. He's not fit, which I don't understand. Like he's not like he's just like a kind of like he had no muscles, like nothing. He didn't look intimidating. And he's sitting there. He's out of shape, and he's sitting there. I'm out of shape too, but I'm not on the internet going, "Fucking Scarlett Johansson wasn't fit enough." Like what, bro? Like for real. Don't be commenting on a woman's body, especially a woman who could probably whoop your ass.
To leave the women whipping ass thing, Shang-Chi was great.
Hey, genuinely that's because it's an Asian woman whooping ass, though.
That whole film. I thought you were talking about Awkwafina.
Oh yeah, I thought you were talking about Michelle Yeoh.
I'm being facetious.
Oh.
But Awkwafina is decent in it. She is.
Is she really good in that?
I mean, not like as an action star, but she's funny. Yeah.
Her movie before that was good too, about her family.
Mm-hmm. Another A24.
Oh, Farewell. Oh my god, I love that movie, dude. That movie's so fucking sad.
Yeah, Internals are getting bombed.
What I love about Shang-Chi is all these people who are just like American movie fans being like, "Who is Tony Leung?" It's like what? You know what I mean? It's like, dude, you have decades of Tony Leung movies that go through.
Yeah, I saw that recently with the main guy from Squid Games. So how do you feel like being a big star now or something when he's been a big star in Korea forever?
What do you guys think of Squid Games?
I haven't
seen it.
You haven't seen it?
No.
It's that's really weird to me.
We could talk about a little bit about spoilers because I know who the big bad is.
Well, I was just gonna say Squid Games is just weird to me because friends who refuse to watch anything that's not American cinema or TV shows were into it. Like I joined my Discord of like my bro-ish friends, and they were streaming Squid Games together and watching it. And I was like, what the fuck is going on?
I know some people were watching the dub, and that I judge people who
It's
watch
a
the
bad.
dub. It is. Just watch the sub, man.
He's in fucking New World.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I didn't realize that was him.
Yeah, that's the same.
He's so good.
He's also in the one that came out recently with the other guy from New World, where he's a gangster, a Yakuza gangster.
Which one's that?
That he's trying to find his daughter.
Deliver Us from Evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in that too.
That's a good movie. I think that movie does a trans character really well.
She was a really great character.
Doesn't like make her feel less than anybody in that movie. Like, does a fucking fantastic job.
And she freaking comes through in the end.
But his character, the Squid Game guy's character, is the most badass motherfucker I've seen in recent. Ryan, have you seen Deliver Us from Evil?
I don't think so.
They flip flop. The other guy was better and was badass in New World, and he's badass in this one.
Those two need to just do movies together all the time because they kick ass. Nerd says Black Widow was a disappointment for him. Is it because Scarlett Johansson was fat?
So did Boba Fett.
Well, yeah, obviously she's gonna be the next Widow, taking over for Scarlett.
Yeah, since she's leaving, and I like Florence Pugh.
Oh, she really is gonna be Black Widow?
The movie sets it up like that. It doesn't confirm, but basically,
love Florence Pugh
because her actual character in the comics, I think, is White Widow, so it makes sense to make her the next Black Widow.
Yeah. Florence Pugh in her Midsummer, just such a good like stage of grief, like fucking grief.
Oh yeah,
she's so good and she's beautiful.
She was in Little Women too.
I like bigger women. Like 6'8" Amazon cookie women.
That pick you up?
That's why you told me to put on that dress.
No, the action sequences were subpar. Someone said I look like David, the guy from Stranger Things in that movie. They're like, in Black Widow, you remind me of him, David Harbour. And I was like, is that a compliment again? I don't know.
I mean,
do you guys both follow the Pizza Place page, right?
Yes.
Did you see that kid on one of the posts wrote, "Holy shit, it's Kevin Smith"?
I did
that
not.
Kid used to be such a fucking dickhead to me. So, and he's a ginger, and I just googled ugly gingers, and I was like, "Oh, what's up, Carrot Top?" And he was like, "What's up, Bob Hoskins?" And I was like, yes." But I like the Daredevil show. Yeah.
I do too, but my problem is the lighting and fight scenes.
My problem with the Netflix Marvel shows is that they got too soapboxy. Like, just, you know what I mean? Like, they obviously had to fill time in for the episodes. But I hated Jessica Jones, hated Luther, hated what's the other one?
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist, hated that. Like Punisher, but just because John Bernthal, man, he carried that show. And the guy who played Kingpin,
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah. I love you. Oh,
Can you tell her to whisper a little bit louder?
Hey, will you whisper just a little louder so that people?
I only heard I.
I love you.
Thanks, Taylor.
Ryan says, thanks, Taylor. Well, guys, we should. Something's going on over off camera. I'm a big fan of. No, you know what? I take back what I said. Go drink bleach. Fuck you.
Jesus.
I do not. This motherfucker just said I look like Peter Griffin, and he's got a not these two. Someone in the comments. Taylor looked at you guys like, you motherfuckers. Someone named Chemical Ninja who likes bleach. The manga. It's terrible. Wait, what do you want to say to that guy, Ty? Oh, lonely POS, says my wife. Even my wife is
ganging up on him. Damn.
Yeah, fuck you. I'm gonna block you from this show. Last week I had a guest on insult me to my face.
That was not an insult.
You remind me of Artie Lang, and I was like,
the sad thing is, it was true.
oh man, yeah, that's my problem, Fett, is that there was too much filler in the Netflix stuff. Like, wasn't that when they were making shows be 10 episodes? Like they were like mandatory. Yeah, if I think 8 would have been great. Hey, what movie should I make Taylor watch tonight? Let's Scare Jessica to Death. Her eyes are like,
It's not scary.
What are you in the mood for?
You want to watch a 3-hour Japanese movie? Are you in the mood for that? She just goes, no. What? Defenders.
That was the team up show, right?
Oh yeah, I don't think I've watched Defenders actually. I don't think I did. Is there any TV shows I should
You should
watch?
make her watch this.
I told you a long time ago you should watch Into the Badlands. They do choreography really good.
You're right, I should. Chemical Ninja. I'll fight you. I sent Ryan a video. I was like, yeah, I'm 4'11", I have a 3-inch dick, but I can do this. And it's just me curling 100 pounds.
The important part, though, was the response where I said, how come you don't put the camera down lower so I can see your daughter helping you lift it?
No. Wait, no, you said picking you up, I think is what you said.
Yeah.
Demon of the Loot. Oh, man, Dragon, my wife would leave me. She can try to get my wife to watch a wuxia film from the 60s. She would be like, I already watched it this year. I really liked it.
Ever go back and watch There Will Be Blood? That's a good one.
Yeah, but that's a long one. That's kind of a dry movie, too. What's your favorite PTA, guys?
Probably There Will Be Blood, actually.
What's yours?
There Will Be Blood. That's a generic answer, but that's such a good movie.
I really do want to see Licorice Pizza.
Did you hear it's getting a little controversy?
No.
Apparently there's some like racist Asian stuff in it.
Yeah, I did hear that.
Yeah. But I just fucking make movies.
Punch Drunk Love is decent.
What you think of Phantom Thread?
It's good.
Wait, didn't he do Inherent Vice?
He did Inherent Vice.
Is that good?
Yeah. He did Boogie Nights. He did Magnolia.
The Master.
Master's a big one.
Is there any PTA in the Criterion?
I don't think so. That is a great question.
Because I feel like that should be
Punch Drunk Love. Hello.
Oh yeah, that's besides that though.
No, I think that's the only one.
That's a disappointment because I think most of his movies would fit. Like There Will Be Blood would be great. Ooh, Bubba says he hated Magnolia.
That's a hot take. A lot of people love Magnolia.
What's a director that you like that a lot of people hate, Ryan?
That I love that a lot of people hate. Spike Lee. I genuinely like a lot of Spike Lee films. Obviously, he's loved a lot by a lot of people, but yeah, a lot of people also hate him. Have a good night, Dragon.
I love you, Dragon. Have a good one, buddy. Ooh, eBay says he likes Uwe Boll. That's an opinion.
Yep.
My favorite Uwe Boll thing is he was challenging critics to box him. You remember that? Like, you don't like my movie? Fucking box me. And he actually did one. I think he did one, right? He did well.
I have no idea if he actually boxed. Yeah.
Who's the director do you think is overrated?
He said he's just kidding.
Okay, thank God, eBay. What do you think? Who do you think is the director that's overrated?
Well, I mean, this is going to sound like a cop-out answer, but a lot of them. I think a lot of people have reputations that really are not super deserved. Usually it's like one film gets them some major cred for like 15 years. And it's like, okay, we'll make something good again. Come
on. I would say Ridley Scott.
See, and that's one, I'd almost say the opposite. I think he's a lot better director than some of his movies show.
Prometheus, Alien Covenant, Robin Hood.
For his fan base, I'll say Snyder.
Yeah. Oh, Snyder, dude. Snyder, he just needs a good script and someone to tell him no. You know what I mean? He's like the Kanye of directing. I'm trying to think of a director that I love that a lot of people don't. And it's tough. Because there's I think I have pretty superb taste, so it's like who Snyder needs a good editor. Yeah.
Nice good answer. I genuinely like Shyamalan a lot.
I do too. I still think his best movie is Stuart Little, but that's my favorite fact about M. Night is that he directed fucking Stuart Little. That's his first movie, you know, which is a good movie. I used to love it.
Didn't Miller direct something odd compared to the rest of his filmography?
Who?
Miller.
George.
Mad Max.
Oh, yeah, he did the Penguin movie.
Yep.
Yeah, he did the Penguins.
March of the Penguins or whatever.
Shout out to him. Wait, did he do
Happy Feet? That's
Happy Feet. Yeah, shout out to George Miller. He can do everything.
I know people don't like Kevin Smith that much.
I think Kevin Smith.
I love Kevin Smith.
I like Kevin Smith too. I think the religion movie.
Dogma.
No, not Dogma. The one where they're in the church.
Oh, Red State. That's my favorite Kevin Smith film.
I even like Tusk a lot too.
Me too.
Yeah, I think Kevin Smith. I don't know, and I just love Kevin Smith. I listen to Fat Man on Batman. Like, I just think he's a cool guy. He has a crazy story that he was at Stan Lee's house with one of the members of the Sex Pistols, and Stan Lee was reciting Shakespeare. Miller did Babe too.
Pig in the City.
Could you imagine instead of Mad Max, it's just the Babe pig? Just the rest of the movies, right? Now, have you heard the theory? Now, which Mad Max is it where he's telling the little boy stuff like around the campfire? Or like he has a sidekick and it's like a little boy.
The second one, Thunder Road.
Is it the Thunder? Is it the second one? I can't
remember if it's that one or the third one.
Well, the little boy is in the second one.
You guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
There's a fan theory that the Mad Max and Fury Road is actually that little boy.
Yeah, I heard that. Tom Hardy.
Yeah, I love that theory. That it's just like he's keeping the name alive as like a myth. You know what I mean? Like to keep that myth up. It's cool.
I still have not seen this one from Kevin Smith. Yoga Hosers, that's the name of it.
Yes, Yoga Hosers.
Clerks 2 was amazing, though. I love Clerks 2.
Clerks 2 is hilarious. I even like the James Silent Bob reboot.
I hope they bring back Elias for the third one.
Michael Bay minus Transformers. I think Ryan and I have talked about this before. Michael Bay is a good director. I think the first Transformers is fine.
If you like big box office, he's made for that.
Yeah, and his new movie, Ambulance, looks awesome. Have you guys seen the trailer for that?
No.
He's using a bunch of new drone technology, and some of the shots in the trailer look incredible. It's about Jake Gyllenhaal, and he has I'm gonna guess they're both adopted brothers, and Jake Gyllenhaal and his brother rob a bank, and then they hijack a ambulance with a shot police officer in it, and they are running from the cops. Like, it sounds awesome.
I honestly don't understand with his filmography how people hate Michael Bay. It's literally full of just wins.
Yeah, I mean, what's that movie? 13 Hours.
But even going all the way back to '96, you got The Rock, Armageddon, Pearl Harbor, Bad Boys 2.
Pearl Harbor is not good though.
But it's still not a bad directed film.
Oh no, not at all. No. How much did Pearl Harbor make? Because that was a big fucking deal. 2001. Damn, that came out. Its budget was $140 million, and it made $449 million.
Jesus Christ!
That's in 2001. That's a lot of money.
That's back when Josh Hartnett was the next big star, and then went nowhere.
Yeah, he fell off.
Well, apparently he quit acting. He moved back to his hometown and just was like. But now he's back. He was Boy Sweat Dave in Wrath of Men. That's the character's name, Boy Sweat Dave. I liked Pain and Gain.
Pain and Gain is a fucking masterpiece. Actually,
I love it.
It is a satire, and it is wonderful.
I like Josh Hartnett and Lucky Number 11. That was a pretty good movie. Have you seen the Asian one that he did? Like, it has, like, I think Ron Perlman and some samurai stuff in it.
No, what's it called?
I'll look it up right now. It's really weird.
Yeah, obviously with Josh Hartnett, I got to go to The Faculty. He was so great, man.
Man, The Island was a good movie too. Scarlett Johansson.
30 Days a Night with him.
Oh yeah.
Scarlett Johansson's 37, and she was in a man. I didn't realize she's been acting that long. That's a great movie. He's got one. He's got a movie coming up called.
The movie I was talking about was Bonraku.
Bonraku.
Yeah, with Ron Perlman.
How do you spell that?
Bunraku.
Bonraku.
You know, it's looking like he never really left.
Who?
Hartnett. He's got credits in basically every single year.
He was doing like smaller stuff, right?
Oh yeah, much smaller.
Pain and Gain she was a child actress. I didn't know Scarlett Johansson was a child actress.
Yes, didn't she do a duck movie?
A duck movie?
All I remember was it's a child movie and it's about ducks.
I should make my wife watch Seven Samurai tonight, guys. Black and white 3.5 hour movie. 207 minutes. That's a long time.
Watch Pearl Harbor with her.
I'm not gonna watch Pearl Harbor.
Isn't Pearl Harbor pretty long too? I remember it being long.
Yeah. And then you guys know Ryan, you know the guy over at Hong Kong Rescue?
Yeah. He's
doing an unedited version of Pearl Harbor?
Yeah.
Apparently. Which is bizarre to me. I don't understand. God.
Bootlegger's gonna bootleg.
Bootleg gonna bootleg. Watch A Bullet Syndrome with my wife.
No.
I would like to keep my wife.
You should, but wait till you have it on 4K.
I would like to keep my wife.
Watch Tiger Claws with her.
Tiger Claws? She would just be like, whatever. I should make her watch Universal Soldier: The Return.
Boba Fett, I agree fully here. Cameron is talented as hell, but
who?
James Cameron.
Oh,
but it's really difficult to direct while you have your own dick in your mouth.
It's probably a nice dick.
I mean, it's an expensive one.
Isn't it crazy that Avatar was at the time the biggest movie of all time? Wasn't that wild?
Crazy.
Did I tell the story about when we went to go see it? My friend went with us, and he's blind in one eye, and he's like, I can't see the fucking 3D. Like, why did you pay $20, Randy?
I love that his name is Randy. That's such a perfect name.
Yeah. Rest in peace, Randy. Biggest box office movies. I want to see what the list is. Avatar's still number 1. Whoa. Did they do a re-release of it to fucking beat out Avengers Endgame?
Yep.
That's so fucking funny. And people went and saw it? Oh, man. So Avatar has $2.8 billion.
Jesus.
That's wild to me because that's a terrible movie. Avengers, 2.7. Titanic.
I love this comment. I just didn't like Avatar. I don't know why. I think it was the tail sex that grossed me out.
That part was the best part of the movie.
Avatar, it was literally just blue fern gully. That's what I've never understood. Like, and the whole point of the movie, it was pretty to look at. That's the only redeeming quality of that film.
I didn't know Furious 7 was in the top 10 most grossing movies of all time.
Jesus.
It's number 9. $1.5 billion. It beat out Frozen 2 and Frozen. What the fuck? That's wild to me. This is a crazy list.
That's pretty crazy.
Beauty and the Beast from 2017 is in the top 20?
What did I do, nerd?
Have you guys looked at this list?
No.
I don't think so.
The number 200 most top grossing movies, The Simpsons. Damn. That's wild to me that fucking Furious 7 beat out Frozen.
I mean, there's a reason they've done 10 of those goddamn movies, and there's more coming, right?
One last ride.
How you feel about this guy asking The Rock to come back?
I hate The Rock. I don't know. I'm glad he's gone. Hobbs and Shaw was the worst of those movies, in my opinion. I like Jason Statham, but not in a comedy role.
I don't know.
Ninja Stop and Flatlining. Avatar is retelling Dances with Wolves with blue creatures.
The Rock is pretty awful. That's something I think most of us can get behind.
Yeah, I'm done.
I do like his earlier stuff though. It's just that lately he's just taking anything and everything.
Well, and it's all the same exact role. He's just the rip dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same way I feel about Kevin Hart, but the opposite. It's like I'm done.
Exactly.
You think The Rock would accept the sniper movie?
Could you imagine America? He could never be a sniper. He's too fucking big.
Can't hide behind anything.
He would have to be a literal tree. They'd be like, "Oh, look at that giant oak tree over there," and it's actually The Rock.
The movie would be like 8 minutes long.
Dude, there's 3 actors I can't stand, and it's The Rock, Ryan Reynolds, and Kevin Hart. Anything they're in, I'm automatically tuned out. I'm like, no.
I will say Zach is correct. I don't know if you saw it. Spy.
Yeah.
Jason Statham was so great.
I love Jason Statham.
But he was also kind of the straight guy in it too.
I think he does a good job in his role. Yeah, shoulders would give him away, says Nerd of the 80s.
Rock would just have to paint himself gray and literally be The Rock.
Did you guys watch Red Notice?
No.
It's awful, dude. It's awful.
That's why I didn't watch Red Notice.
It's got 3 people. They're so okay. Those 3, like Ryan Reynolds, Kevin Hart, and The Rock, they're so charismatic that they loop around and they have no charisma anymore. Does that make sense?
Yes.
They're too. I hate people that are like. And then like Kevin Hart being like, I want to be a billionaire, but it's not about the money. Like he said that this week, and I was like, shut the fuck up. It's about the money, you fucking midget. He's shorter than me.
I'm so glad you can finally say it.
I can look down at Kevin Hart, but he can use his $1 billion to be 7 foot tall. So
that reminds me, when I was growing up, I was a giant, obviously, and I was a sheriff explorer for a while. So I would wear an actual uniform and go ride along with sheriff's deputies and learn about law enforcement. And there was a sheriff's deputy that was yoked. Dude was ripped, but he was like 5'3.5", and I had semi-neglectful, semi-abusive parents that did nothing to help me grow up or learn about life. So I went to this multiple times. I went with like super wrinkly uniforms because I didn't care for my clothes properly. And this 5'3.5" deputy would point it out. He'd be like, "Man, why are your pants so wrinkled? You just got here. You haven't done anything." And I got fed up with it. Like the third time he said it, I said, "Because it's a step stool. Climb up those damn wrinkles and say it to my face." And he was like, "All right, that was pretty good."
You ever had a Reno 911 situation?
Which one? There's many.
And
Reno 911 is great.
dude, I love Nick Swartzen.
He's
what the
hilarious.
fuck happened to him?
My uncle just watched something called Buddy Games that I need to watch. That he's in it. Apparently, it's crazy.
Ryan, did you see this?
Kevin Hart is playing the Gary Coleman character. I don't know if that's true or if that's
true.
Perfect satire.
That could be an Onion article. It could not be an Onion article.
Exactly. Oh man.
Oh man. Before we go, I want to say I've been watching Gomorrah season 5. Ryan, get on the show, dude, because it's the final season. It's incredible.
I told you I have ordered the first 3 seasons.
Well, hurry up. I love it. Ice watched you watched the first 3 episodes, Ice?
Yeah, I need to continue it.
It's good. I love it so much. But let's go wrap it up. I can't believe it's been 2.5 hours. I'm gonna go subject my wife to something that she doesn't like. Movie wise, I'm not talking about a movie. Don't give me that look, Ryan.
Thanks, everybody. By the way, just a reminder, December is going to be pretty massive. Every single week, we are going to be reviewing stuff from the year. First week of December, we're going to be going over favorite box sets and 4K releases. Most of our stuff will center around boutiques, but with something like this, there could be something current that comes under favorite 4K types. Yeah, we'll see you next week. Other than that, if you have any questions, comments, put them down below. We'll get back to them.
And Ice, thank you so much for coming on, bro.
On the phone anytime.
You're more than welcome to come on. And Ice, start a fucking YouTube channel, dude.
I'll try.
Just do it, dude. You'd be great. You'd be fucking great. Your Ice is very charismatic. And once I come out to New York, we're gonna hang out.
Oh, for sure.
And once I come down to Kansas City, or we'll also hang out.
Please.
I gotta just go down and then up. Just boom, boom, and just visit you guys. So, love you guys. Peace out.
Bye.
See you guys. Have a good week.